Everybody, welcome back to Kruse Control. It is Friday, May 19th, 2023. Welcome to Kruse Control, the home of entertainment. Did it start over again?
Nope. Nope. You're still there. Everything looks good. Keep going.
Hey, everybody.
Bring it in.
Welcome to Kruse Control. Sorry about that. It is Friday, May 19th, 2023. Welcome to Kruse Control, the home of entertainment news. I am your host, as always, Brian Kruse. Welcome back, everybody, for this Friday edition. Of course, we probably will be doing a little drinking because it is Friday. You know how it goes around here. And also joining me, as always, is my co-host, the lovely Miss Sabrina Vittori. Sabrina, welcome back to the program. How you doing tonight?
Hi. Wonderful. How are you?
Good, good, good. Happy Friday. How's your Friday?
Happy Friday. So far, so good. Ready for this fantastic boozy Friday.
Boozy Friday. Hey, GR in the chat. It's not hump day, GR, so don't worry about that. You won't hear hump that much tonight.
Well, we've already heard it twice, so let's rein that in.
Pump it up. And also, joining us back here on Kruse Control, Lexi Covill. Lexi, welcome back to the program. How you doing tonight?
Hi.
How you been?
I'm
It's been a long
good.
time.
It's been a minute, I know. Hi, GR. I know you missed me.
Yeah, GR. Everything's been good? How's the podcast going?
It's going very well. We are wrapping around the bend fastly and furiously.
You're drifting in.
Yeah, we're on 9 and 10 is where we're at. 8 should come out. I think 8 came out Friday. 8 came out Friday, so we got to record 9 and 10, and then we're done.
Awesome. Well, it's exciting.
It is.
I can't wait to hear some more of it. I mean, you've been working your ass off on that, so it's amazing that you've been getting so much out there. It's a lot of work, right?
It's been eating all of my time.
I know how that goes. I know too well. Well, also joining us back here on Kruse Control, again, Rachel Blakely. Welcome back.
Hi, how you doing?
How's your day been? I'm good.
Going great. I've got some whiskey sour in a Hello Kitty teacup, so no complaints.
Winning.
That's awesome. That's too good. I'm just drinking a little Modelo right here, brought to you by Modelo Kruse Control. No, it's not. Maybe one day. But yeah, as it goes, everybody, as you know, it's Friday, so if it's your first time here on Kruse Control on a Friday, we of course do a little bit of drinking along the way. If we do impressions, if we just tell somebody to drink, we'll do it because that's how it goes. So cheers to Friday. It's been a long week. That's just part of the game here. You're welcome. Yes, you are welcome. And we are at like 313 subscribers right now, so just keep moving up. Tell your friends. We'll keep it going because, as always, at Kruse Control, we have some breaking news. All right, everybody, the very first thing I want to dive right into is Bullet Train. So Bullet Train 2 is coming, everybody. Bullet Train 2. And I was kind of shocked by this, but it did do really well in theaters. I mean, it made $239.3 million with a budget of $90 million. So pretty big win for a show like this. Brad Pitt, Sandra Bullock, they're both coming back. Also, Margot Robbie's in negotiations for this as well. Sony Pictures is making this. David Lynch is coming back again to direct. And yeah, it should be pretty good. Maybe, hopefully. I don't know. We'll see. It's exciting for Brad Pitt, probably. I thought he was good in it. I thought the movie overall was fun. But again, I wasn't as blown away as I thought I would be with the movie. So, but they're doing another one. They really are. Rachel, what do you think? You're nodding your head there. Do you like this movie?
It was good, clean fun. Come on.
It was clean fun.
You're muted.
You're muted. Okay, I hear you.
It was my turn to be muted. Sabrina passed it on.
True.
I didn't watch it. I heard it got good reviews. I heard it was fun. I just haven't gotten around to watching it yet. So I'm not surprised it's getting a second one with the reviews and the cast that it had.
Yeah, and it was fun. It was just a fun movie, and yeah, you're right, huge cast, right? Mm-hmm. And it just has some great people involved with it. So David Lynch, I mean, it's a cinematic movie. It's like really awesome. It just drives and goes. So hopefully the next one is good. It'll probably be kind of the same situation. Most people died in this, so spoiler alert. So I don't know who's actually going to come back beyond Sandra Bullock and Brad Pitt, but I guess we'll see. Someone might have lived in that train crash, right? Like someone might have lived. That happens all the time. People die, but they come back, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do they ever?
Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. We're gonna get to some of that. This is very much in the line of all that Fast and the Furious because again, action packed. Just sit back, popcorn flick. So another one is coming, everybody, and I can't wait to see it.
Something else. Really quick, Bullet Train was shot on Hawk lenses, so
that's
shout
right.
out to Hawk, just so everybody knows. Best lenses around, my company. Shot
Hawk
on Hawk,
Anamorphic.
Bullet Train. So, cheers. Everybody drink to that.
Yeah.
Woo!
But yeah, awesome lenses, awesome movie. Of course, I thought it would be better than it was, but it still was a lot of fun. So if you like something like that, high-packed, bam, 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 move movie, this is the movie for you. So check it out. But something else that's not coming back, and I'm kind of like, unfortunately, because I thought it's about time, is Twins 2. And I'm talking about Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was supposed to be called Triplets because they were going to find their long-lost other brother, who was supposed to be, well, at first it was being Eddie Murphy, but he fell out years ago. And now apparently they had Tracy Morgan attached to it. And Arnold said he was ready to go. Danny DeVito was ready to go. They had the budget for it already. Everything was going to go except Reitman was going to direct it. And then unfortunately he passed away. And when he passed away, his son Jason Reitman kind of pushed it away. And Arnold even said this. Arnold goes, Jason Reitman fucked it up. That's what he said. These are Arnold's words. He fucked it up. He said,
Wow.
literally stopped the project when his father died. His father wanted to do it so badly. I really wanted to do it badly. DeVito wanted to do it really, really badly. We had the financing. When his father passed away, he said, I never liked that idea, and he put it on hold. And once he put it on hold, it sat for a while, and the studios pushed it away. So Triplets is going away and not going to ever happen now. 1988, it made lots of money, $216 million back then. And now, yeah, a huge movie. And now Arnold's saying that him and Vito are going to do something together. They're going to do a different movie. They're going to still work together. They're going to do something. He doesn't know what, but they're working on a project together that's not Triplets.
That's a big breakout film for Arnold, too. Like, that was his big, like, step out of, I can do comedy as well as action. Like, that was kind of his, look what I can do kind of thing. So it was a big role for him to go back to it. I could see why it would be a big thing. But also, is it really a premise to return back to? Is it really something worth visiting again? Is it? Can we just, like, as me and Sabrina talk about every time more?
Happy
Can
Friday.
we just fucking stop? Like, that was a stupid idea, and it was a stupid idea, and his son is absolutely correct.
He
Shut
said
the
it
fuck
was
up.
dumb.
Oh, what?
Apparently,
Arnold?
Ivan was like all about it though.
100%.
Did you
No,
not make
no
enough
one
money
needs
off
to
your
watch
cigar deal? Like, I'm sorry, did you need more money? Like, you don't need more money. It's fine. It's the
Let's
stupid
find
idea.
our brother. I can't do an Arnold.
You did an impression, though, and now we all have to drink, yeah.
yeah. We all have to drink. That. Let's do that. If someone does an impression, everybody has to drink. That's good.
Sabrina, you're muted. It's not
You
me
are.
this time.
Yep.
You passed it back to me. It was my turn, I guess.
Sabrina,
I didn't realize
are
we
you
all
bummed
have
about
to
this?
drink if you do an impression. That's terrible news. We're all going to be hammered at the
We
end
all
of the
get
show.
punished if Brian does an impression.
So
yes,
rude.
your rule of Fridays. Sabrina, are you bummed by this or what?
No, I'm definitely not bummed. I feel like it could have been. I probably would have watched it. It probably would not have been great, but like for nostalgia's sake, I probably would have watched it. And I think
That's why we
Eddie
all
Murphy.
watch this shit. For
But Eddie Murphy,
nostalgia's sake.
I feel like Eddie Murphy would have been like Tracy Morgan. I might not have, but I feel like Eddie Murphy. Like if Eddie Murphy, Danny DeVito, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, I feel like I would have to watch it. Like with Tracy Morgan. Wow, I cannot get my words
Maybe if it came
out.
out in like 1995.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not. I'm just saying I probably would have watched it. I wouldn't have been excited for it. I wouldn't have been like, oh, I can't wait for this. But I probably would have watched it on my couch when it came to a streaming service. And
I also agree with you. If it had been Eddie Murphy instead of Tracy
it would have been a
Morgan,
much more,
I would have been more interested in that. But that's also alumni of the era, so it also would have felt more natural for them to all be together. Whereas like Tracy Morgan would have felt out of place with both of them. So it just kind of like,
good
I
point.
don't know. It's not
Absolutely.
It's a bad idea. It's just a bad idea. Let's just move on from it.
No, I'm glad. It was just funny how pissed off Arnold Schwarzenegger got.
Yeah,
he was like, oh, he fucked it up, and he was like, I was like, wow, just throwing it out there, buddy. Okay, we see you.
Else? You know what else fucked up? Your zombie movie there, Maggie. So why don't you just shut the fuck up and move on? Like, seriously, bro. Like, what are you complaining about? I mean, why don't you go get some acting chops and really do something with it?
Whoopsie.
Ooh, okay.
I think he was just excited to have something that he knew would people would go see. It's like reaching back into his repertoire. He's also talking about Conan the Barbarian. He wants to do more of that too. He said that it's still like true to his heart. I'm like, how do you do Conan, man?
No, that's a hard no. That is a hard
He
no.
said that Conan is still in his heart to
No.
do forever.
No.
So
No.
yeah, but he had to let go of triplets. So
We do not need Conan the geriatric barbarian.
I mean,
I want-
seriously.
I want
Just
Jason
stop.
Momoa to go back to Conan again. I thought his Conan was excellent.
maybe
He could do it.
Yeah,
I think-
he's awesome.
I think-
I thought his Conan was
There's enough
closer to the
Conan.
books when you read the comics and the books, like the original Conan Doyle. He's more close to the original character who's always mouthing off and like being really brash and that kind of thing. Whereas Arnold never talked. It's like if you
Right.
want to be closer to the
Because
original
he was more
character,
of a visual.
Yeah, Jason
that time,
Momoa was
especially his
great.
career.
I'm like, I really loved what he was doing with the character. I was like, if you wanted to continue on with the series, I'm like, Momoa is the way to go with that character. I'm like, he's 100% Conan. So, just saying.
And GR says meow in the chat, just putting that out there. Anyways, something else that's coming back because something else that's coming back is Futurama to Hulu. That's right, Futurama is coming back to Hulu.
I thought you said Futurama Day Hulu. Like
Day Hulu. Futurama Day Hulu. Happy Friday. Futurama Day Hulu coming this summer with 10 episodes. That's right, the streamer's bringing it back. They're saying they're going to have stuff for people, the big fans of the past, and stuff for people that aren't fans, have nothing idea about this product at all. So they said it's going to make an impact, they think. It first came out in 99 on Fox. Comedy Central, it came back from 2010 to 2013. And all the episodes right now are streaming the previous episodes on Hulu. I know, Rachel. They're saying, though, you're going to get some big things here. You're going to get developments on the epic love story of Fry and Leela. You're going to get mysterious contents of Nibbler's Litter Box, the secret history of evil Santa. I mean, yeah, they're just going into it. But it comes back July 24th on Hulu. 10 episodes. Initially, it was supposed to be 20 episodes. But then they cut it down to 10. And that's probably,
That's a bad sign already.
This fucking show aired when I was a teenager. This shit came out when I was a fucking teenager, and they got canceled then, and they brought it back, and it got canceled then, and they brought it back, and they've canceled it, and brought
And
it
when it
back,
got
and canceled it.
It had a perfectly good ending.
Right, and it keeps like
we're done.
every time you bring it back, you sour it more and more. And the thing is that like in its original like first form, it was such a beautiful show. And
really
it's
was.
like that's why people wanted it back, was because the original first form of it was such a great original beautiful show, and you can't possibly capture that again once you shut down. Like maybe initially like going back to it again once you get that rhythm going again, but like you're not going to get that again shutting it down and going it back, shutting it down and going it back. And like especially when you look at The Simpsons and the quality of The Simpsons and where it's at, if any of those writers are coming back over and working on this again, it's like, fuck that, this show's done. Like, and at this point, like, you've ended it, like, what, so what, that thing on my shelf's irrelevant now? Now I gotta go out and buy another one to fucking chunk in next to it? Like, fuck off, I'm not doing this shit again. I'm like, I can't keep, like, investing in a series that you've completed and, like, taken away from me and given back to me and taken away from me and given back to me for the better part of 25 years. Because, like I said, I was a teenager when this show came out. Like, I remember being in high school when this came out. I wasn't in my 20s.
In a while.
Yeah, like, it's not... it's an old show. Like...
We're not that old, Lexi. Come on. We're not that old. Come on.
I'm getting there. I'm climbing up.
I feel you, though. Like, honestly, like, why are we doing this? Like, it didn't work last time. At least, like, stuff like Family Guy they brought back and it lasted. It kept going. They're not canceling it.
Family Guy needs to go the fuck away.
It should be canceled.
But that's
Family Guy should be canceled.
And you know the thing that's funny about that is that they went and they got rid of American Dad. And American Dad, like, bloomed into one of his best shows.
Oh, wow!
Like, that show's amazing. And, like, they moved that over to TBS and they did everything in there. That was The Alien. He was on point with that, too. He actually got it pretty good. So, actually, let's
Oh, but guess what? Everybody, drink.
Yeah. But, like, somehow that show that got shuffled all over the place and then eventually, like, gotten rid of. And it was his best show. Family Guy's a stagnant piece of shit that's been doing the same thing for, like, 13 seasons. And we're here with more and more seasons of it. It's like...
Yeah.
And I'm like, how many more movie parodies do I possibly need to watch? I cannot watch another season of movie parodies. Like, I can't
37.
I can't do it anymore. And, like, it's not because, you know, McFarlane's an incompetent creator. I believe in him. I believe he's created all kinds of competent content.
He's amazing.
I just think this is like
very
some of
talented.
the most incompetent content, and that he needs to move on and create a completely new something. I don't know what. Like,
Well, he
maybe
tried the
not-
Orville,
I-
and that's still
I
in
think-
limbo right now.
We just need a new generation of cartoons. Like at this point we're still watching the same adult cartoons we have been for 20, 30 years at this point. South Park is still going. Family Guy is still going. The
Still
Simpsons
going.
are still going.
Simpsons, like you said.
Simpsons,
It's-
yeah.
Call it a wrap, guys. Like
It's about-
Simpsons is older than me. It's been on since before I was alive. It's unnecessary to keep going.
That's-
Grab this bitch.
when you look at the American animation formula, as soon as they got into adult animation, the only thing that they've ever been able to do with it is sitcom. And so there's never been an evolution with adult animation in America beyond sitcom. And
I mean,
so
Adult Swim has done some interesting stuff, but
adults, they've attempted, but like there's really like when
But
you
it
look at
didn't last
Major
30 seasons.
when you look
It
at
did not.
Major Networks,
it
when you
doesn't
look
need
at
to. Nothing needs to last 30 seasons.
But it's about the investment and where you want your networks to invest the money. And like when you're looking at building like a new like crime drama, or you're building a new like hospital drama or any of that, are you going to animate it, or are you going to make it live action? Like all these things can be animated. All these things can be done in different kind of mediums. They don't have to all be sitcoms. So the thing is that like even with comedy, there are other mediums of comedy other than situation comedy. If McFarlane wanted to move into different types of comedy and wanted to try different mediums, he could definitely different mediums, and Fox could definitely move into different mediums of comedy and stuff like that. I think Adult Swim, like when you bring that up, they do attempt different mediums and different really get experimental with it as far as what they push out there and try. But they're one of the only ones doing it. So if all you have is Adult Swim, like really cresting like the waters, but they're so experimental that they go into like art house area. Like they're not really necessarily for the mainstream either. So we need to kind of
We have
introduce.
shows like The Venture Brothers, which is an animated action.
But that's not
Comedy.
That's
It's not
really-
a sitcom.
But it's not mainstream.
It's definitely not
either.
mainstream.
Well, we also have Married with Children coming too as an animated
Oh yeah,
series.
that's true.
So that's
And Babylon
coming, so-
5 is doing an
Babylon 5
animated
too,
movie.
which is live action
Oh, so
coming.
yeah,
These are the
Babylon
topics we've been
5
talking
and
about.
Stranger Things
And
Yep,
I mean,
Stranger
Bob's
Things.
Burgers has
Burgers.
been on for a
King of the
minute,
Hill's
but
coming
like
back.
it's still not like as old as time. you
Dude,
know,
Bob's
let's
Bob's
bring-
has
Tale
3
as
more
old as
seasons
time.
until I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I
I
love
love
that
Bob's
show. It's so,
Burgers,
and
but we
Archer,
still, like,
Archer's
quit
great.
what's
It's
ahead.
ending now, but
Archer's
I
ending,
also
though.
love it. You know,
I stopped watching
But I'm
Archer
just saying, there are
probably
new
7 years ago
properties.
because it just got stale.
I actually thought it stopped when I said this the other day. I thought it stopped when Jessica Walters died, and I didn't
Right.
realize it was still going. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine her not being on that show. To be perfectly honest.
Every time I think
that's
that
why I
Archer's been done for like a couple of years, I hear that there's another season coming or that it's ending, and I'm like, oh my god, that
Because it
show's like
should have
still
been
on.
done.
Like,
I
I thought it was
thought
done at, like,
this is it, though.
9 or 10, and it's like still fucking going. You're like, Jesus.
August, the last season starts for Archer. That's it. And that's going away. But something that is coming back, which I know Lexi's excited about, and I'm excited to finally hear this date, is Tron Ares, everybody.
Yes!
Tron Ares. Finally, we have an announcement for shooting.
boo.
They're going
No
to set.
boo.
They're going to put some freaking cameras up. They're
Sushi?
going to start shooting this shit July 3rd. July 3rd, they're going to start shooting. Right before 4th of July, which is weird, but whatever. July 3rd, they're going back to set. Jared
So
Leto's
good.
the lead in
ridiculous.
this. Jared Leto's
Don't
the lead.
care.
Only if there's not a writer's strike, by the way. How are you throwing
It's
July
also-
3rd around? Like, let's be real.
This shit was written 10 years ago, so it had to have been. You know, the last movie came out in 2010. This one now, again, it's almost par for
okay.
the course. 82, 2010, 2024, this will probably come out. But, you know, it's because of Jared Leto. He's the one that's been pushing for this. They
That's
haven't
amazing.
said
Oh, Jared.
if
That's
Jared's
amazing.
coming back or Olivia Munn, but they did say that the fact is
Olivia Munn.
cameras-
ugh.
she was in the last one.
She's horrible.
Initially
why it
they were
sucked.
saying that it'd be following her character in the real world. That was the whole thing. But now that you know Jared Leto's the main person, we don't really know what's going to be about.
No,
But we
Olivia
do know-
Wilde. Olivia Wilde, not Olivia Munn.
Oh, it's the Munn. Oh, I fucked that up. Olivia
Olivia
Wilde.
Wilde.
I guess I better drink now. Oh, every
Yeah,
time
I don't
say
even
something
watch
wrong, it's
Tron,
time to
and I
drink.
know that. I was like, this doesn't
Why?
make sense to me.
Why is it that
It
they
is-
weren't able to get Daft Punk back for this? Like, I know they broke up, but just
They broke
get them
up.
back
But they
together.
broke up.
They don't
We got
care.
some time though, Lexi. We
You
got some time.
can't will them back together.
You have to.
You
Maybe,
can.
maybe
We
you
can.
can. Maybe
How
you
much-
can.
I say
out there
that
right
you
now.
invest at least half the budget into getting Daft Punk together.
Maybe they'll be bigger, harder, faster, stronger. Who knows? I think it can
Exactly.
Oh, that's all you need.
All you need.
That's all you need. Joseph Krasinski was great when he directed this. But I'm like, I wish he was back, but he's not back. You know, we'll see what this new director does. We'll see what actually happens with this. Of course, Joe did Top Gun Maverick. That did great too.
Favorite.
Awesome. He's an awesome person. He's really cool. That's why I was really stoked. I'm like, this guy made Tron. I'm like, he's fucking awesome. But yeah, it's coming.
For Tron.
Hashtag hell yeah, Tron. I can be in that shit. I'll be in the grid tomorrow. Get me on that bike. Let's go.
I'll be in the grid. I can't.
In the theater.
Send me to the
Go
fucking
grid,
grid. Just
If
like
they do this before the writer strike is over, though, it will suck. Because even if the script has been written for 10 years, you need writers on site to wrap that shit up.
That's a big
They
problem.
can just do reshoots later.
They need that though, because this writer's strike, it might go throughout the whole summer. The way it's trending right now, the last 2 or 3 months, 100 days, 120 days the first one. So the trend is we're going to go into the summer quite deep here.
Probably to September.
SAG-AFTRA is sending out for the membership to actually strike as well, to get behind them, which is huge. It never happens. And then I've been told, because like I have some people I talk to, Fran Dresser's actually standing up for the actors now apparently.
Good.
And she's pushing for the strike. And she's actually trying to do some change there, which is amazing. It's great to hear that, because when she first came in, I was like, nah, but now it's exciting. So
Hell yeah.
hopefully they get behind it. They help out. This needs writers, everybody. It definitely needs writers, because I want the best fucking movie ever. To shut everybody up, right, Lexi? Shut them all up, all the haters.
So, wait, are you saying he's like a big fan of Tron? Leto?
Yeah.
He's gonna be in. He's gonna be in
Like,
Tron.
really
He's
a
gonna
big
be
fan
the
of Tron.
protagonist.
He pushed for this? Like, he was like,
He pushed for it. Yes.
need
It's
this.
part of his cult.
Yeah.
He's been wanting to do it for years. He's been trying since like 2017 or 2018 to make this happen.
He's been
like,
living in the grid. He has to like come out to like method act himself into roles, but he literally lives in the grid. Just so
That's
you know,
amazing.
it's
That's great.
part of
like-
his. It's part of his process.
He's like, I want a sci-fi movie that's awesome. I tried Jupiter Ascending. That thing was shit. I got a Razzie for that. I need something good. You know?
So he tries Tron. That's like, oh, he's playing with fire with that one. I mean,
This fool always plays with fire.
I'm a big Tron lover, but like, let's be honest here.
He plays like fire, just like Jason Momoa plays with sharks, because Jason Momoa apparently loves him some fucking sharks, and he's coming to Shark Week, everybody.
Oh boy.
So Jason Momoa said, in his own words, he says, as host of Shark Week, I am beyond excited to take you along on this journey. He said, this project means more to me than a week of just talking about sharks. It's a chance for me to learn and share my connection to these amazing creatures. My love of sharks came long before Aquaman. And he's going to be the master of ceremony for one whole week, from Tuesday, July 11th to Tuesday, July 18th. It's going to be happening on Discovery. Jason Momoa talking about sharks on Shark Week, because everyone wants to talk about Shark Week on Discovery. So my question is for everybody out here, what do you think about this? It makes sense, right? Jason Momoa, Shark Week, right?
Sure, it makes as much sense as anything else.
Like, what does a
At
host
least he's
even
nice
do, though?
to look at. Like,
But Dad, it's Shark Week. What movie? Give it to me. What movie?
I
Step
don't know.
Brothers.
Step Brothers,
Yes.
right?
I
Step
still haven't
Brothers.
seen it, Sabrina. Still haven't seen it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we are no longer friends. No longer friends. Until you watch Step
Watch it
Brothers.
when I come to town.
Yes,
have to
that's
drink
true.
because of
Okay,
that.
fine.
You have
I
to
will
drink
watch
because
it
of
with
that.
you. But you do have to drink. Good call, Brian.
Yep,
You do have to drink
because
for
of
not
that.
having.
I,
Oh
I've
my
also
God,
never
Lexi.
seen it.
Whoa!
Oh,
What?
you have to
Oh my
drink
God,
too.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Everyone, don't adjust your levels. That was just a moment of insanity. I apologize. Lexi, you guys, come on, man. Come on. I'm
I-
very
Oh, Jason,
offended.
be still in my heart, GR says.
I don't
But-
like Will Ferrell comedies.
This
Oh
one's a
my
great
God,
one, though.
No.
If you're going to
I
watch
love-
it, this is the one.
I'm
It's
a big
in my-
fan of Jason Momoa. So
What?
let's get him on. Let's get him on
We've
for the
abandoned
Shark
Jason
Week.
Week. Show.
Momoa. We are talking about
Okay,
Step Brothers
sorry.
now.
I tried to bring it back
You have-
around.
No,
Shark
we're not
Week.
bringing it back around. This is ridiculous. I
Hit
don't
my
know
mic.
anyone in the world
Hit my mic.
who hasn't
Shark
seen Step Brothers.
Well, now you know
That's
two people who
ridiculous.
haven't seen it.
Well, now I do, and it's embarrassing, frankly. I need you
I'm
guys.
almost sweaty because I've been watching
get
Cops,
on.
all I can say.
Yeah, that's what he says. He's like, "Why are you so sweaty?" Because I was watching Cops. It is some of the best, most hilarious dialogue Like, oh, well, it's one of my
I've
top
heard
That's
five.
shit,
dialogue.
right?
It's like the most
It's one of my
quoted
top
movie
five
ever.
favorite movies. Yeah, well, then get on board. Get on board, okay? I need you to see. If you see it and don't like it, I'll accept that. But I need you to see it. Both of you. I need you to see it. Please and thank you.
Do you know how
Jason
many?
Momoa, great. Shark Week, whatever.
Do you
Next.
know
Week
how
love.
many people have been trying to get me to watch Step Brothers?
Oh,
in
I'm
my
sure.
life?
All sane,
all the
amazing
people.
people,
You are-
who love one of the best
all the
You
comedies
are
of all
like
time.
one of like 20,000 of like the
So
list of
everyone
people,
is
like-
watching
Not
Step Brothers.
So what's the
surprised.
breaking point? What's the
Do
breaking
you
point?
think?
20,001.
Wait, hold on. Do you
Here we
think
go.
we're all wrong and you're right? Because that's
I don't-
not possible.
I don't like comedies.
You got
I
this.
have
Okay.
no moral standpoint against Step Brothers.
Okay.
It's just a happenstance that I haven't seen it.
I call shenanigans on that, Lexi. And Rachel, I task you with making her watch it since she doesn't like comedies. So when you come here, I will force you to watch it if I have to tie you down. And then you have to tie Lexi down and force her to watch it when you go home. Because I will not accept one more co-hosting event for someone who hasn't seen Step Brothers. That's it.
That
It's
means
over.
Rachel has to watch it twice.
Oh,
There you
yes,
go.
she does. Absolutely. And congratulations to you, Rachel. You'll see one of the best comedies out there twice. I've seen it 35 times if I've seen it once.
It's just the first 2 times you're seeing it. You'll see, like
So
Sabrina
good.
said, you'll see it much
So
more.
So good.
So everyone is watching Step Brothers, but who the fuck is watching Shark Week?
Apparently, people love
Who?
Shark Week. Apparently,
Dude,
I don't
people
know
I
why.
love
get it. I
Shark
love the
Week.
I love
concept
the
of
shit
Shark
out
Week.
of
The
it.
social media is great for it, but does
I know
anyone
people-
actually watch cable
Yes.
TV anymore?
Well, that
Shark Week is kind of a big deal, though. They have like
It-
this. Isn't
right.
that on Discovery? They have like the Discovery
Discovery,
app now.
yeah.
They
You can watch it on
app it.
Discovery Plus, which is merging now with HBO Max, so it'll be on the Max network very soon.
Yeah.
Everybody,
It will,
The
and I
Max
do have
network.
Discovery Plus.
Yes.
GR, very clever, by the way. He said Shark Week bites. Very clever.
Oh.
it does.
Well,
it does.
I know you haven't seen Step Brothers, but I know what you both have seen, and that's Fast and the Furious 10.
We
Because
have.
Fast and the Furious 10 is now officially out, everybody. And I just want to break down some numbers before we get into
Not
talking about
family.
it just a little bit. So Fast 10 is out. And, as we talked about the other day, we're talking about The Rock. That's a spoiler, but, fuck it. Spoiler, we talked about already. The Rock's
It's not
in this movie at the
though.
very end.
It's not. Saying he's in this movie is like saying Vin Diesel is in Tokyo Drift. It's one half
You're-
of a scene at the
Right.
very
Ooh.
end. It's an end
It's
credit
super
scene.
quick,
Who?
right? It's
He's not
super
even
quick,
in the
right?
fucking movie.
Your
Yeah.
picture.
Oh, The Rock.
Your 9. Your picture's not from 10.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah. That's
Our
a whole
Lexi.
thing.
Where's your blank hand, Lexi?
That's 2 strikes. No Step Brothers and correcting the photograph? Oh, Lexi.
The movie
So-
just came out. Give him a break.
Okay, so let's break this down for like 1 second. So opening night, they made $7.5 million, okay? Compare that to like the other movies. Let's go to Fast 7 first. That made 15.8 million opening night. Different time before the pandemic. Fast 8, 10.4. Still
Yeah.
different time. During the COVID pandemic, the 9th one actually made 7.1. So this is an increase from that 7.1 to 7.5. Overall, though, if you look at the numbers right now, they're projecting 60 million this weekend statewide, and then international about 68.7 million, 120. But they're saying that's lowball. It might get up to 256 million dollars this weekend.
We
Those are
went last
because-
night, and there was
yeah.
nobody in the fucking theater.
There was nobody there.
No, we went to like a 7:30 showing opening night,
Yeah,
and
it
there
was
was like
dead.
no one in there. The whole
Wow.
front half of the theater was empty. I didn't look behind us, but
Granted, we were at the D-Box Theater. I mean, that's the one with the movies.
only 2 rows of it are the D box. The whole rest of the theater is regular seats.
Oh, I didn't know that. Then yeah, that theater was completely fucking empty because like the
And even
D-Box
the D box
was actually
seats weren't even
the
fully
fullest,
sold out.
but they were the
Wow.
fullest seats in the theater.
That's
If you were
crazy.
gonna see a movie in D box, the Wiggly seats,
That's the movie,
Fast and
right?
the Furious
Yeah,
is the movie to do
absolutely.
it.
We've been seeing them
100%.
like since 8, basically. Like,
Yeah, I've
Wiggly
been seeing them
seats.
all. I've seen them. Like it's fun, and the D box has got to be a blast seeing them in that too. I've never seen them that way. But break it down because you both saw this movie. Okay, it's looking like it's gonna make a lot of money again. As we were talking about the other day, apparently Vin Diesel was in an interview saying that because Universal loved this so much, this one they're like, can we do one more on top of it? Can it be a trilogy finale? And you're right, that's what he said. And
told
apparently
you.
then he walked away from the interviewer being like, it's happening, and he ran away. So apparently there's 2 more coming. They're
I
gonna
told
I
you.
go
like
to
that
12.
visual. Vin Diesel's like,
Yeah,
and then runs
I saw that.
off.
I
Yeah.
saw it, and the interviewer was so like, she was like, "What?" And then she's like, "Wait a second, did you?" And she's trying to chase him. Like, is that confirmed? It's like, Yeah, apparently they're gonna do 2 more. Apparently, I mean, it makes sense if it's doing well. They love it that
I mean,
much.
12 is a better number to end on than 11.
To be fair,
but, like,
Lexi called that
that's
shit
fine.
3 days ago or
She
4
did.
days ago.
She did. She said
So-
that, and I was like, "That's insane."
Um,
But because
It
we
was
both
better
saw
than
it-
9. 10
Yeah.
was better than 9.
So Rachel, what's
there's
your
still-
overall thought of it? Do you think that people
You
should go out
mean-
to see it?
Hold
Or do
on,
you think
quickly.
that they should
I have a question. I have a question for better than 9. You mean is 9 the one where they were in fucking space?
Yes.
And John
Yes. So when they
Cena
go to
came
fucking
out of the
space.
woodwork as the related to them,
Yes.
but like
Yeah.
biologically 100%, but looks nothing like them, and it's totally
Yes.
weird. Like that's the one we're talking about. Yeah, obviously it's
Yeah.
better than that. A turd would be better than that. That was ridiculous. 100% ridiculous.
Yeah, that was a step.
Cena
is the
is
worst
back
one.
for this one.
Cena's
Of
back
course
in this
he
one
is.
in a much bigger role, and honestly,
all about
he's
money.
really funny in it. John Cena
He's
is
great
so
in it.
fucking funny.
Hell yeah,
I like
Jason
him. I
Momoa?
just think it was weird.
that's how you do it.
Uh,
Rachel, tell me your thoughts about the movie because you saw it. What do you think about it overall? What should people go see this?
Spoiler-free review. I thought it was fun. I thought it was good. I think they didn't. Okay, so a little bit of a spoiler. The whole story
That's fine. That's fine.
revolves around family, like every Fast and the Furious movie, and they make a big deal about Jason Momoa is going after everyone in Vin Diesel's life, but they don't talk about or address the fact that they don't talk about Brian at all. So there's he's brutally going after everybody who's ever helped Vin Diesel, but they don't talk about Brian or Paul Walker at all.
Weird.
And I'm like, you have to at least address it. Like, just say
And
something
Mia's
off screen,
there
like, "Oh,
the
Brian's
whole
dealing
film.
with this on his own."
Like Mia's there constantly the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like, she's there.
It's there the whole time. So it's ridiculous. They just need to admit that he's dead, or
Yeah.
cast his brother in it, or something. Like,
And
it's
then
just
finish
getting
it up.
awkward at this
Well,
point.
Vin Diesel said actually in an interview saying that Brian will appear before they're done. That he
Yeah.
will appear again and wrap up his
Yeah.
story. And
Oh, he
that's
did
what-
not appear in this one? He did
That's
not
right.
appear
He
in
didn't
this?
appear.
No.
Oh,
Ah,
We've got 2 more movies to get him in.
Yeah,
remember?
Two more
Wow.
movies to get through.
I know when they were
Ah.
shooting 10 and 11 back to back, and I know that his brother was on set, and so I thought maybe he was gonna
Yeah.
be in this one, but apparently it's
No.
11 that he's gonna be in, which
they
makes
didn't
more
address
sense.
it at all.
No,
but
that's
Jason
why
Momoa-
they're doing
is-
12 because they're gonna have a whole
family.
nother movie to think about how they incorporate this dead person into
I mean,
the movie.
Awful.
This
Jason
movie-
Momoa was the best villain they've had in the whole series.
Okay,
He was
I can see
funny. He was charismatic. He did a really, really good job.
How
That's
was Brie shitbag Larson? Question mark.
She's
Her character was
really
actually
good.
really good.
Really?
Bad person, decent character.
Okay.
Very funny.
Lexi,
very
Lexi, you
enjoyable.
saw it too. So
Funny?
what are your thoughts? Do you think that
She's not
people
in
should
it a
go see
lot.
this?
She's in it for maybe 6 minutes total.
Lexi,
Okay,
you saw
good.
this.
Well,
Do you
that's
think
good.
people should go see this, or you think that are you agree with Rachel on this? It's a good movie. It's good for the Fast and Furious fans, or do you think that it's gonna be a stinker?
So, I've been covering these continuously in a row for about a little over a month now, and we've all been burning out on them, and that includes we watched Hobbs and Shaw. As
I
well.
get it.
And
Burnout?
so going into 10, I really I was like, I just want to be done. And it was this thought process. Well, there was this thought process of this is just going to be more of the same kind of thing. So I really wasn't excited going into this, especially after watching 9, because I had to watch 9 directly before going into it because I had my tickets for Thursday. So I was like, I got to knock this one out right now. So I had to watch 9 on Wednesday. I went through it, and I had just done Hobbs and Shaw immediately before that. So we're watching these back to back to back.
That's a lot. That's a lot to do before seeing this
Right.
movie.
And so going
So
into
fast.
this,
So furious.
So
realized
fast, so furious.
I had this very much I've been watching so much of this that I kind of been eating too much of the same thing. So thinking that I was going to this and going to get more of the same thing, Jason Momoa blew me away. He was excellent. He was really fun. It was the most refreshing fast villain in a very long time. I wish they had had more villains this fun in a while.
You know how you could tell he was a villain that wasn't going to be a good guy, right?
Yeah.
How's that?
Bunch of hair. Wasn't a bald guy.
Right.
Only
All
bald
the
guys
bald
turn
guys are
around.
bad.
Right. But I mean, I had the moving seats, which I think the moving seats, they add a lot to the experience. I was like, I definitely think these are movies that are built for the theater. I think the theater added a lot to it. I was like, I definitely needed to see this in a movie theater. If I had not seen this in a movie theater, I think it would have diluted the experience. So if you're a Fast fan, I think that going and seeing this in a theater, I think that the way that these movies work and what makes me like them is exactly that 3-year gap, getting one every few years, going out and getting to have one of these every few years and just seeing it in a movie theater. These are exactly what they are. They're movie theater popcorn movies that have
flicks.
like very, very like limited plots. You go and see it in the moving seats. The moving seats have like all kinds of stuff. There's cars. Like everything applies very well. So these are exactly what they're meant to be, movie theater experiences. If you want people to go to the movies, these are the kind of movies that you need to make people want to go to the movies. And you need to make theaters like the ones with the moving seats and stuff that create...
And charge a little bit less for them.
Make an experience, like the
too damn
40X.
expensive
Right,
for the wiggly
like,
ass
I know.
seats.
This is the kind of
Make it
like...
right.
This is the kind of theater experience I want to have, like a non-stop thrill ride of whatever. But when I go home with this and I put it in my DVD player, it's the same as Independence Day. Like when I was a little kid and I saw Independence Day in the theater, I was like, oh! And I got home with the VHS and I put that shit on my 13-inch television and I was like, oh! And then you're like, this is actually a shitty movie. You know what I mean? But like, watching that
I
in the
will
theater,
say-
Hey,
like,
it's still
it
a
was
great
such an
movie.
experience. But it was the theater experience that really like made that what it was. So I think like you need to have the theater experience with the Fast movies. So if you're gonna watch this, go now and have the theater experience and really like make sure that that's what you do with it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's
That's
gonna
all this
hold up
is.
when you go home and watch it, because there was some shit in this movie that you're gonna be like, what
And
the
if you have a
hell?
D-box in your area,
I
go
would.
pay the extra $10 for the wiggly seats.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
I will
I
say
mean, it
the
makes
special effects were trash.
Were they really?
They looked
Oh, no.
10 years older than they should have been.
Oh,
There's
no.
some bad CG in this for sure.
Ah.
I mean, there's some. Obviously, they do some really great. They always do the practical great. All of the car effects and crash effects and all that are good.
Oh, yeah.
But the fire effects look like shit, like always in these movies. So
I think it was in the trailer where they have the big ball rolling through Rome and it's on fire. The fire looked like
That's
shit.
how it starts, right? That's how it starts.
Yeah.
Let me ask you though, before we move on here, like, so The Rock, you say he's very quick. How long is the scene? Probably like a minute. And
It's
probably
a
just cutting him-
post-credit
It's
scene.
a post-credit scene.
That's
It's
what I'm
not
saying,
even an
that's-
actual
oh, it's
scene.
You don't even
It's
see his face for
So it's
most
like a
of it. He's got
30-second
mask on.
Do
Yeah.
you think they shot it like last week and popped it in there?
They could
Probably.
have. They
Yeah.
absolutely could have, because it doesn't attach to the rest of the story in any meaningful way.
Yeah.
They don't reference him at all. They like the film would not have been changed whatsoever
One
without
bit.
that
You could
1
almost
second shot of his face.
almost
Just
use it
setting up.
as a tie-in to Hobbs and Shaw 2.
Absolutely, and I
Yeah.
honestly think that's what they're gonna do. I think they're gonna make Hobbs and Shaw 2 follow Jason Statham because he kind of dips in the middle of the movie, and then he's gonna
Oh.
call up The Rock, and they're gonna go have
Let's
an
do this.
adventure.
But you don't think The Rock
Which
would
I
come
think would
back
be a
for
great
Fast
way to
11
do that
slash
spin-off.
12?
Like do it like Marvel style, where all the movies like are really
That makes-
heavily involved with each other.
That's what Vin wants to do. He wants this universe to expand. Like, why would he not? You know?
Yeah.
It's Fast and Furious. It's his golden baby.
It's expanded. It's just we're going to be on 12 movies in a couple of years. Like it's expanded. It's
So-
done it.
Sabrina, you're not going to see this, you're saying? Or are you going to go see it this weekend?
No, I'm definitely not going to see it this weekend. What are you, insane? Like I don't know. Lexi made a really good case. Lexi made a really good case for watching it in the theater, because I said literally I would never go watch it in the theater. So Lexi,
Go see it. In the
I don't
theater.
know. You made not. Usually I'm not very impressionable, but I'm feeling maybe
If you're
it's
gonna watch
Versace.
it at
I'm not
all,
sure, but
Yeah.
I'm feeling like you sold me on the seats and the theater experience.
Momoa's great. This is like, okay,
And Momoa, yes, and
Okay.
that.
Like,
This
fuck yeah,
movie-
Momoa.
this movie proves my point yet again. Jason Momoa, not a leading man, terrible leading man, but he is built and designed for villains, secondary
Such a good
characters.
villain.
He is so good at this kind of stuff. Like, he is built for these kind of things. Like, he is so good at that. Like, he was great in
He's
Dune.
so funny.
He's great at this kind of stuff.
Dude.
He
My
just
question
can't carry
is-
a film. Like, he
okay.
can't carry films to save his life. So it's like,
Just
when he's
listen,
put as a leading
like-
man, like...
Well, he did really good in Aquaman.
No, he didn't. Aquaman was
Yes, he
trash.
did.
I enjoyed
No.
Aquaman.
That was the highest grossing DC movie, like, you know, and I feel like that
That's not
was
saying much.
well deserved. He was kind of a well, I know, but it
Well,
was still super
You got
successful.
Aquaman,
I really,
and you got
and-
I
Shazam
really
too.
wanted to
That's
like
where we're at.
Aquaman. I really, really wanted to like Aquaman because it came
he was
out like
good.
just.
I
He was
saw-
an
I
angry
saw Green
drunk
Lantern.
turned hero. Like it was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. That's exactly what I was saying. It was fine.
I think
I
though,
mean, it's
Lexi,
not. I'm not gonna
I
go
feel
see
like-
it 17 times, but when I went to the theater, I was like,
It's no
huh,
Step
pleasantly
Brothers for
surprised.
Sabrina.
Well, clearly, I mean, nothing is really, to be clear. Just it's a very high bar at Step Brothers, just so you know. But this, like, I will go. I might go
Zoolander
see
is
it. I
my
might go
Step
see it.
Brothers.
My biggest. Oh wow, then you'll really love Step Brothers because Zoolander is like a 2 in comparison to Step Brothers. So
see it in theater, Ty. See it in theater.
Yeah, Brian, am I right? Is Zoolander
Yeah.
a 2 compared to Step Brothers?
Compared to Step Brothers,
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10.
He looks
Brian's
offended.
probably gonna give it a 6.
I actually didn't mind Zoolander 2. I know everybody likes to hate on it. I didn't mind it.
No,
I
not
thought it was-
Zoolander 2, just the first one. Just the
Oh,
first
the
one.
Fine.
Oh,
It's
Zoolander
fine.
as well, not 2, as well.
No.
Yeah, okay, from Zoolander, yeah, Zoolander's great. I think, and Step Brothers is right there. It's such an easy comedy.
Which
It's
one's
just-
better?
Fuck my life.
Step Brothers by a million times. This is not even a conversation. I can't with this.
This is hard
I
for
just
me.
said I like
You love
Zoolander. I didn't say fuck Step Brothers.
I
No,
didn't
I
say
mean-
fuck Zoolander. I
doing
just
this.
said
I'm
that
doing
Step
this.
Brothers is better.
This is what I got.
Did I
This
say
is
fuck
what I got.
mean-
Zoolander? I may have. I'm not sure.
My favorite comedy is Freddy Got Fingered, so I don't
One more
even have
time.
a,
Also
a
love
horse in
that.
the
That
trade.
is very fucking funny.
That's amazing.
I
That
love-
Would you
movie's
like
so
some
good.
sausage?
That's my favorite.
I love
movie.
Freddy Got Fingered.
Oh
I
my
love
God,
that
this is
movie.
Great
It's
movie.
good.
Completely different
I
genre.
have zero problems with that. But yes, completely. Zoolander and Step Brothers are on par. Absolutely.
Yeah. They're in the
Chris
same
also says
ballpark.
great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in the same that weird like Freddy Got
Weird
Fingered
comedy.
is a totally different kind of
That's
comedy.
my kind of like.
And-
That's my kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it's an A+. You hit it out of the park. I
It
totally
does.
agree with you 110%.
It's absurdist. It's not the same
Yeah.
kind of comedy.
That's my
It
kind
isn't.
of-
It isn't. But I mean, I love it. I love Freddy Got Fingered. I have not seen that movie in so
Okay.
long. When you said that, I was like, oh my god, yes.
I like
yes.
Grandma's Boy. That's a
Oh my
fun
god, me
movie.
too.
That movie's
One
I
of
love
my,
Grandma's Boy.
Oh
It's so
my
good.
That's a
god.
good genre. That'll work in it.
Yeah.
Grandma's Boy is hysterical.
Sweet car bed. Yeah, my grandma, my roommates are gonna get me a CB radio so I could talk to other car beds. I can't.
But I
One of
know
my
a
favorite
bunch of
movies.
people like that are a bunch of computer science majors, and that movie just reminds me of all the people that I grew up with. and I'm
Really?
like, yeah, like it reminds me of them hard.
Fucking
It's like,
nerds.
okay, yeah.
It is a very underrated comedy. That movie, like I feel like a lot of people haven't seen that, and it is really, really funny.
Grandma's
Like,
Boy is
really
great.
funny.
I love Grandma's Boy.
Boy.
It's a
Yeah,
great
it's
movie.
so good.
Excellent cast too. I can't remember who plays Grandma, but like great actress. I can't remember the name.
Doris, is it Doris?
It's the mom.
Doris
the-
the Explorer.
From Seinfeld, not
Yes.
Seinfeld. Yeah,
Is
I
it from
feel like.
Is it from Raymond, the mom?
Oh yeah, Raymond, not
He's trying to
Seinfeld.
take it
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
Very
yeah.
similar.
She's great. I love her.
So great.
She is awesome. Somebody else that I love, and speaking of casting, I want to talk about the Fantastic Four for 1 second, because apparently,
Boo.
Daveed Diggs has been given a contract and been offered the role of the Thing in the Fantastic Four. That's something that came out today. Now, of course, this is still rumor mill, everybody. And I love me some Daveed Diggs. Apparently, the big reason why is that in the comic books, the Thing, Bruce is supposed to be, or Ben Grimm, he's supposed to be Jewish descent, and Daveed is. And so they've been getting a lot of like flack, I guess, at Marvel about not taking their, their actual characters from the comics that are Jewish and actually casting, Jewish actors. So
Dude, it's been a problem.
It's been a problem. It's been a problem. And so that's why they said when they announced this, they said the one thing we'll tell you right now is that Ben is going to be Jewish. That's a big thing. And
Yeah.
apparently they're going to him, which I think he's great. Michael Chiklis before playing this, Jamie Bell. I mean, honestly, not matching that material at all. This movie comes out February 14th, 2025. It's not that far away, really, if you think about it.
It's a Valentine's Day release.
It's a Valentine's Day
That's
release,
an interesting
Rachel.
choice.
It is for your take your sniffing out to see Fantastic Four. But I love Daveed. I think he was great in everything I've
think
seen him.
he's great.
I started watching extrapolations on Apple TV Plus. Now this show's a little weird, but he's great in it too. And it's throughout multiple years. He's fucking fantastic. Of course, you go back to Hamilton. How great was he in there? Sabrina will talk about that all day. But
Fantastic. He was one of the best parts of Hamilton.
yeah, he's awesome. I was like, honestly, standout actor. So for him to go to Marvel like this, it's a big choice. It's a big decision. And they said that before they offered like Sue Storm to Emma Stone, and she turned it down. Apparently, that's again rumor world saying asking
Not
too
enough
much
money.
But this right here apparently is one of those things where they're saying that within, you're probably gonna hear pretty soon. Comic-Con, they'll probably announce this.
I agree with Chickless. Chickless was the best.
Chickless was good.
He looked like him the best. Just saying, he looked like him. That's all.
I hope that Disney follows through on honoring more of their Jewish characters, because it's even beyond casting choices. They've been erasing the storylines of a lot of Jewish characters, just not even addressing them, erasing the storyline, rewriting their backgrounds. So I hope they do commit to keeping that background for the character.
It'd be great. What do you think about David?
Fantastic.
Think he'd be good for this part?
He's great. He can do anything. You can cast him literally anything, it'll be fine. That's great. That actually encourages me to see The Little Mermaid even more in theaters.
Yeah, me too. And it's
you didn't know he was Sebastian?
I didn't pay that much attention, man.
I mean, Sebastian is my favorite character in The Little Mermaid. You're probably younger than me. You didn't grow up with Little Mermaid, huh?
I grew up with Little Mermaid.
You did?
I was born in 90. I'm not, it came out like around the.
You were born in 90. No, it did not come out.
Wait to put up the age there.
It
came out, so it was there my entire life.
Okay, all right.
It's not my favorite Disney film, but I'm not mad at it.
You were a baby. You were a
it's not like they put them out and then never talked to them again. It's not like
you're lucky they didn't put it in the Disney vault, because you'd be screwed.
I saw that shit in the theater when it came out.
Yeah, right? Like, it's a big difference.
Me too. So good. So good. I think David, though, let's go back to Fantastic Four, though. I think he's a great choice for this. I think he is. Like, honestly, I was nervous. I'm nervous about casting in general for this. Everybody is out there on the internet. Everybody's freaking worried about Fantastic Four. It's the first family, So I think he's a great choice.
Some people are going to complain about the casting, and I think it truly, as far as looks go, does not matter who you put under the clay blob.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter.
No, it's going to be so quick. We're actually going to see him be like a real person.
Isn't there a lot of time when he's not a clay blob also? Like,
it'll be.
He's also a person.
I don't know, man. I'm not that familiar with Fantastic.
Because
he's also a person in the movie. He's not always Thing.
No. Yeah, but they're also saying there's part of backstory.
A big part of being Thing is his struggle with the fact that he is Thing and can't not be Thing and has to be like that all the time. I have a question, though. So if the Thing is Jewish, does that mean the Thing is a clay golem?
It should be.
Like from Jewish myth, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, that's kind of interesting.
They're not going to do that, though.
A science experiment.
It's science-based. Yeah.
Well, he is like magic rock, right? He's like space rock.
Space rock. Because they go to space, whatever happens,
rock.
that radiation thing causes him to do this, and the radiation changes him into an inanimate object more than actually being superpowers, which still makes him strong in a lot of ways.
Dogs.
Yeah, but it's not like a magic thing.
Dogs.
So I would say it's
a magic thing.
It's obnoxious.
It's a magic thing. But I really think that he'll be good being this part. I think so, right? Lexi, are you excited about his casting news, though? Do you think that he'd be the right choice?
No.
Oh, no. Why not? Why not? You not like him?
No. I don't know him. I don't know anything about him. It's not...
You saw Hamilton.
Not on your radar, huh?
I don't like any of the casting for Fantastic Four. I don't like any of the way they've been dealing with Fantastic Four. I feel like
Do we know any of the other casting?
First initially did a lot of the casting on the very first Fantastic Four. I feel like they cast right, but just like fucked up the movies really poorly. So like they had like the visuals of the characters right, but then like fucked everything else up. So it's like those movies were just like total shit. But then
those movies have nothing to do with this.
I know that. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying
the same production company.
This is Marvel's chance to actually do it right.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, like, I feel like long ago they got the visuals right, but fucked everything else up, and since then they've been like just fucking everything else up, like the castings and everything else up, and I feel like they just don't know how to get Fantastic Four right. And every time they go back in and try to do Fantastic Four, I just feel like every time they do, they just like get worse and worse and
I
worse.
feel
and it's
like
just
I feel like the blame lies on the Fantastic Four. They're like not anyone's favorite bunch of superheroes.
No, they're
a bunch of
not.
fucking loser douchebags.
They're mid.
Like, who cares?
I
Who
think,
cares?
like-
I don't
family.
need your torch or your thing or your fucking stretchiness. Like, just stop. Like, nobody.
I think
cares.
their other failure with Fantastic Four is that they keep trying to make a movie out of it, and I think when you look at what Disney's been doing with Marvel, that the TV show is absolutely the direction to go with Fantastic Four, because they're science-based, they're not action hero-based. There's a lot of stories in Fantastic Four that are around Reed Richards, like experimenting in the lab and kind of having some shit go wrong, and them like poking around at shit that isn't really like superhero-y at all. And then there's like times when they have to save the world. So it's like it's 50-50
That's
on
the problem. That is the problem. Exactly what you just described is the problem.
So it
It's
opens
like
the
they're
door
just-
to a TV show, though. Like that's more TV show
No,
based than it is
opens
like
the door for
movie-based.
boredom. It's boring and dumb. And the reason
They
why
could
every
be
movie
great.
sucked is because the source material sucks.
No,
The
what it
group
is-
sucks. Like
But
even
that's-
in the multiverse of madness, I was like, oh, this fucking guy, like John Krasinski. I'm like, what? Really? That's what we're
But
doing
it's-
right here?
it's
I don't
Johnny
need it.
Quest.
I really
Everybody
don't need
John
it.
It wasn't
Krasinski.
I
It
don't
wasn't
need
bad.
it.
But
I
it's
don't
He just
need
died
it.
like a little bitch, you know?
There's
like
been
that.
a million
Yeah.
Fantastic Four things, and no one likes any of them.
To
But
John
she brought up
Krasinski's.
Well, she brought up
See,
Venture Brothers.
The Fantastic
make fun
Four
of shit.
spoof in the Venture Brothers was great.
Yeah, it was great.
Sure, but that's not the actual Fantastic
No.
Four.
But
I
like
think
you
Adam
could do-
Driver will be this
And,
part
like,
of this.
Yeah, they're gonna be Adam Driver, Emma
Wait, is Adam
Stone,
Driver
and
gonna be
and no, these
He's
are all
apparently the
rumors.
number one
Yeah.
person up for it right now.
Adam
for
Driver
Mr. Fantastic.
is
I
Adam
will watch
amazing.
anything with Adam Driver.
Could
in
you
it. I'm here
literally
for that
imagine-
goofy-looking motherfucker?
And if it was
If you're-
him and Emma Stone and David, I mean, I don't know. I just
David
it's like
Diggs.
you're
What a
gathering
hot
an all-star.
cast.
You're gathering an all-star cast to fail. You're
Rachel's
setting
changing
them
her
up
mind
for
now.
failure.
She's changing
I
her
will
mind.
say Adam
My mind has
Driver.
never changed. I'm
Is
fine
Adam-
with
Adam
all
Driver
of
is
it.
is off-putting to look
Is
at.
that-
What'd you
is
say,
that-
Lexi?
No, I love him. Are they using him as Reed
He's not
Richards?
weird.
Reed Richards.
The
that's
main
that-
guy.
he-
The
he's
main
really
guy.
the number one person up for it right now.
No, see that's
Hard
beautiful
no.
casting. No,
No,
I'm here.
no, it's
100%
not.
for that. No, that's really
No,
good
I
casting.
can't
And
with
actually,
this.
Emma Stone, is that who they're using for?
No,
That's
they
been who they
they
wanted.
offered
They
they
offered
offered
her,
it
she
to
turned it
her.
down.
I don't
She's
know.
so
This is
pretty.
all
I would
rumor,
love to see her
rumors,
in
rumors.
anything.
Yeah,
she would
these are all.
be good
I do-
casting.
I
for
do
that,
love
too.
her.
She'd be
She's
good
so
on that.
pretty. She's unreasonably pretty.
I-
The problem
like-
is you need to write. It needs to be written well. It doesn't matter. You could bring in Meryl Streep and Daniel Day-Lewis to make a movie like two of the arguably greatest women and greatest
I
men
wouldn't
actors of
watch
all
that.
time, and then it sucks because the writing sucks. Like there's only so
Yeah.
much you can do as an actor. So like the Fantastic Four, from what I've seen, has shitty storylines and like subpar
No.
people. Like yes, that every movie has had a subpar storyline.
Marvel
and-
Zombies comes from Fantastic Four directly.
Okay,
comes
that is.
from it.
Have you seen any movie with that involved in it?
No, but I've seen
There
the
was
TV
an episode
show.
of What If that
My
did,
point
Marvel
is
Zombies.
the
What about
things that they
David,
have
Sabrina? Do you
shown
think he'd be
to
good?
the world on cinema.
What
I
do you
love
about
David
David?
Diggs. I support anything that he does. I support anything he does. I love him. He's never going to be president now. I'll just tell you that because he's
Never
going
gonna
to
be
too busy
president
being thing.
now.
I love Hamilton. I love him. I think he's great. He created. He was in that Snowpiercer. Is that what it's called? Snowpiercer. And he did Blind Spot. He created, and that has been off. Like he's very impressive as an actor and as a human being, and also as a rapper and a singer. So I support anything that he does. When I heard that he was going to be Sebastian, I was like, well, I guess I'll go see The Little Mermaid.
Great. I think it's a great choice.
Yeah. So I just don't. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the Fantastic Four franchise in general. So that's my issue here.
Unless it was on Arrested Development.
Well, yeah, that I love. Tobias, please run that play again. Let's do that tomorrow.
I'm gonna say somebody else that you're not a fan of, though, Sabrina, is Meghan Markle and Harry.
Of course, it's my fault.
Because we got to do an update on this fast, everybody, because this came out. We talked about it on Wednesday, but there's an update on the whole Meghan Markle and Harry situation. Apparently, the photographers that were chasing paparazzi were hired by Backgrid Photo Agency, and Harry's team actually sent a lawsuit over them, being like, "Hey, what we want you to do is we demand that you immediately provide us with copies of all photos, videos, and/or films taken last night by the freelance photographers after couples left their event and were chasing them around the city. They demanded it." And now Backgrid Photo Agency said, all right, we live in America, everybody. And in America, it's property belongs to the owner of it. So we're not giving you shit. Denial, rejected, bam, that's done. Now, the big thing is that's happening here. It's like, they're saying, well, all this stuff happened down there. They're fearing for their lives. It was horrible, right? But apparently NYPD came out and said, well, you know, the paparazzi were challenging. But that's all they would say about it. On top of that, Backgrid said that they were never in immediate danger at any point in all of this. And they're actually amping this up, and it's not real what they're saying, and they're just making it a bigger thing than it is. And that's interesting to hear. And also a taxi driver came up. The taxi driver that picked them up, apparently picked them up at the police station, was going to take them someplace, got a block, got stopped, and then went back to the police station. And he was saying, too, that it's not exactly like they were saying. Like, it's not that. It's a little bit exaggerated. So the question is now, what's happening with this? First of all, if you're taking these photos, why do you not release them? And also, like, you think it'd be for, like, a newspaper or something, or you think you put it out somewhere. And on top of that, like, what actually happened there? And there's also stuff online saying this didn't happen in New York. I'm not throwing this grid right now. Here's the grid of New York right now. So in New York, if you see the Zegfield Ballroom right here is where the event went down on Tuesday night. And then where he was actually picked up by the taxi cab driver. We got that on the grid right here. So they actually went from there to the taxi cab by the actual police station. They got about a block. You can see where they dropped him off and then went back. This happened in New York, everybody. This happened in New York. It's a real thing. Everyone's like, it didn't happen. It's the same that we're talking about on Friday or on Wednesday. Yes, I get it. Like the whole thing that happened with O.J. Simpson, it was in the 405. That happened somehow. I have no fucking idea how it happened. The same thing like this happened in New York. I have no idea how it happened, but it did. It did. Who uses taxis? Good question, Chris Panico.
Well,
I have no idea.
Their second vehicle, because their personal driver had gotten all tangled up.
They were chased all day. They were frantic when they got into it. Rachel, what do you think about this? Do you think there's some shadiness here? Is this publicity, or is it also like, is there a real story here?
I think multiple angles of things can be true depending on perspective. Is saying that it was over exaggerated true from some people's perspective? Absolutely. But when you consider the fact that his mom died in a very similar way, could this have set off a panic attack for Harry? Absolutely. Whether or not the danger was real, he may have felt that it was real. So, like, it's a really complicated situation. Like, with all of it, should they have been following them at all? No. Like, let these people live their fucking lives.
Yes, of course. They're paparazzi. That's their job. That's what they do.
Yeah, but given the way that his mom died, I am very sympathetic to the way he would have felt in that situation.
Are they playing off that sympathy, though?
That's ridiculous.
That's the question. Sabrina has something to say right here. I'm going to take you to Sabrina right now. Sabrina, what do you think about this?
I think it's all a sham and it's all bullshit and it's all ridiculous. There are pictures that came out on TMZ about this supposed chase where a taxi cab was literally just stopped in the middle of a fucking road, and there's people taking pictures inside the taxi cab. First of all, if you're in a SUV with tinted windows, why in the shit fuck do you get out of that and get into a taxi cab with no tinted windows so that cameras can see you, right? Then they go
they didn't want them to follow them to their residence.
Okay, there was not their residence, it was their friend's residence. And if they would have just sprung to stay at a hotel, they could have pulled into a fucking parking garage and it would have been over. But instead, they're risking whatever friend who comes to New York for a couple days that is part of the royal family and doesn't stay at a fucking hotel. Like, honestly, like, get your shit together. Stay at a hotel. Meet your friend for brunch. This is absurd. I can't with any of this. It is absurd and ridiculous. And honestly, like, the fact that, like, there's pictures of them in the taxi cab where she's sitting there with a slight smirk on her face. He's like filming what?
Which we just saw.
Oh, you just showed that picture?
Yeah.
She doesn't look upset at all. She's like, my plan is coming together. I'm Mr. Burns. And he is sitting there with his phone up trying to block his face, and her mom is just like this. Like, okay, great. No one seems terrified. No one thinks they're going to die in 5 minutes. And by the way, the taxi cab is barely fucking moving. So don't give me a high-speed chase shenanigans.
Well, it was never said to be a high-speed chase. But
it was. It was said to be. It was said to be a high-speed chase. It was. They said they went through red lights. They went up over onto sidewalks. It was extremely publicized by their people that it was a high-speed, dangerous, near-catastrophic situation. And I call bullshit on all of it.
And people online were saying that it's not real, didn't happen in New York. And I'm like, it happened in New York. Like, this went down.
No. Hold on, Brian. The thing is, the near catastrophic chase didn't happen in New York. A slow turtle roll around the city did happen, but not a dangerous, near catastrophic, endangering the lives of everybody. That didn't happen. But this, like, it was like almost like a parade, like a slow parade around all of Manhattan did happen. And they specifically didn't go straight to their friend's residence because they didn't want to give up their location. So they chose to go around in like this weird, like long way to get to their friend's house. Like
if I was them, I wouldn't want the Paps to know where I'm staying either, or the general public.
Well, if you go to a hotel, then it doesn't fucking matter.
Well, they still know where you are at a hotel. Like, I wouldn't want
Who cares? You get in an elevator, go up to your room. No one's going to let the paparazzi up at the Carlisle, by the way. Like, it doesn't matter. You go live your life, you come
outside. They'll be
sure, great. They're going to wait for them anywhere they go. They're the royal family. It's the same. You're a celebrity. That's what happens. Everyone knows what you're saying. They wait for you.
I'm sorry, we have King Charles calling in right now. He has something to say about this. King Charles, what do you have to say about this?
Why are you chasing my son around? Why can't you leave the family alone? All you got to do is chase my son around in New York. I don't care about the woman, but my son you got to leave alone. Why are you chasing after him? You calling him a liar? Sabrina, I know where you live. I have cameras. I got the CVTs.
Come on down, buddy. Come on down.
I'm royalty. I have all the cameras.
Barely. For 5 minutes, you are.
I'm 5 minutes of royalty more than you.
That is very true. That is very true.
Lexi,
no
what do you
true
think about
words
this?
have been spoken.
Lexi, do you agree with Rachel or Sabrina on this? Do you think this was very, emotional and hard on them, or do you think this was a setup?
I do think that you don't chase him around like that, yeah. Especially with his mom dying the way that she did. I can see how it would trigger him.
No. Listen, Alexi, I don't mean to cut you off, but honestly, they did this shit on purpose so that they can use this as a leg up in their, like, he has blamed the press for everything that's wrong in his life. Everything. Like that in his book Spare, the number one villain is the fucking press.
I will just say
that. Killed his mom. I'd be mad at the press too.
Okay, first of all,
if it comes out, I'm just gonna say this, Sabrina. If it comes out that you are 100% correct, and that
I am 100% correct,
and this is all some bullshit publicity, son, then I'm 100% on your side, and I'm like, I 100% agree with you, and I take back everything. But like, if it's just them chasing him around or whatever, and it's like legitimately just like them chasing him around, like this kid's mom was traumatically killed, like by the paparazzi. Like the way that she was taken out was brutal, and it's still
and they didn't help her. They took pictures of her dying instead of helping her.
Yeah, like the way that it was handled is like one of the most traumatic like paparazzi deaths ever, and like it kind of changed the game. So I understand how he can have trauma around that, and that's all I'll say on that, and I'll just leave it at that.
Believe he does have trauma around it, but I believe that this is a completely different situation. You can't be slow rolling around Manhattan and pulling into police stations and calling it a high speed, what's it called, near catastrophic 2 hour long chase. That is ridiculous. You can't have a high-speed chase around Manhattan for 10 minutes. Like, honestly, that's what the mayor said, and I've lived there. It's there's no way. There's literally no way.
They've both repeatedly proven that they're like very high stress right now. Anyway, like they get uppity about a lot of things, and they're
also very high. Pay attention to me, even though I don't want you to. Like, it's a lot. It is. They are a lot. They are a lot. She is a lot. She is a lot. And what the fuck is a Woman of Vision award? Like, no one's ever heard of that in anybody's lifetime. Like, they're giving her a Woman of Vision award? She probably created that charity and gave it to herself.
On the shelf over there.
I would vote for you way over I vote for her in her gold lame curtain dress.
I just earned 3 more, like, right now. What are you talking about?
You have had all the vision. Yes, you have. And I would give it to you. But this is absurd.
If they set it up as a Pap walk type of situation, that's fucked up. If not,
Okay,
the cops are wrong.
I don't think they set it up. I don't think they set it up. They were like, come here and do this. I think that they purposely got into they purposely let them and took the long way around so that they would be able to follow them. And they would be able to create this persona or this what's the right word? This aura of this is happening and oh my god, we're so scared. But those pictures that were released of them in taxi cab, not one person looked scared. Like she was like, whatever. The mom was like, this is embarrassing, and he was like, I'm going to video this.
I think
like
Harry's
there was
fishing in this one.
no one looked terrified. And by the way,
fucking upset in that picture.
yeah, well, he's pissed because his wife made him do this, probably. But also,
They want attention, Chris.
they do want a ton of attention. But also, she like
But I would be
there's-
pissed too if I were him.
There is no
don't
fear,
think the
and
attention
there's a
gained by
video.
her. I don't
There's a
think
video attached to these pictures that like the taxi cab is literally not even moving. It's not moving. They're just sitting there in a taxi cab and
Right,
it's
but
not
that's
moving.
just
There's
one
no
moment in the situation.
Yeah.
The taxi cab was there for 4 blocks, he said. He said it was a very short period of time before he
Right,
went
One
back
block.
to the police station.
Yeah, one block.
Black car before that.
Right, yes. But my point is
There's a whole thing before that, yeah.
there was no, yes, of course there was, but there was no point where they were in fear for their lives and it was terrifying. You're in a black car with tinted windows. You could have easily just stopped the car and sat there. And no one would have been able to see you. They would have taken 58 pictures of a blank window. Like you could have done that. You could have pulled into any hotel parking lot. You could have pulled into any place where a million other celebrities in New York City have pulled into for safety. Like this is a thing that happens to everyone, not just you. Okay, you're not the only celebrity in the world. So if you endured this for 2 hours, that's what you wanted. That's what you wanted. And you gave that perception and expecting it to garner sympathy, but instead it turned around on you and it garnered the fact that you're an attention-seeking asshole, in my personal fucking opinion. And I will not change it. And it's 100%, in my opinion, correct.
I personally have a little bit of sympathy for him in particular, given the situation with his mother.
Yes, of course, but he let this succubus like take his life away and create a different version of him. Like he is not himself
Bam,
anymore.
says Chris Panico.
She has 100% like
The
taken him
succubus from
out
Suits.
of his. Yeah.
There is some important business we gotta talk about though quickly because
I'm just
Lexi, that was
saying.
an impression before. You must drink. I get it.
Horrible.
I get it. Because of what happened with
That was
his
a
mother,
terrible ending.
all of this is bad. It's all bad because of what happened with Princess Di. It's all bad because it's like pulling on those heartstrings.
But that
from the
is
past.
not what this is. That is
I
not
know.
what this is at all.
The fact
And
that
for
pictures
you-
aren't going to be released
for
is a big
them-
deal.
Dude, for them, no, and it's also that the pictures are going to be released. Like those,
What's that?
no, Meghan and Harry their lawyer demanded the pictures from an independent media company. Of course,
Yeah.
they're not going to give you the fucking pictures. You want the pictures so that they'll never come out and people will know that you're lying. Why else would
But
they
al-
want the pictures? If
but also,
they
why would
weren't
you not release
lying,
them?
they'd be like, release the pictures. Because they're going to hold their cards close. Maybe there's a hold on them legally because
Do
they
you think-
demanded them. Who knows?
Do you think that they're in cahoots? Are they in cahoots and that's why they won't release the
No.
photos?
No, don't
I'm
make
just
it more
putting
than
it out
it is,
there.
Brian. Don't make it
I'm
more
just
than
putting
it
it
is.
out there because they will not release the photos. And if you're chasing these people to take photos of them for publicity, you think it'd be like front page
The
news
question really
today.
is, why do they want the copies of why do they want all the pictures? So that they can have
Memory.
control over the narrative. So that they can have control over the narrative is the answer. That's why.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want people profiting off of my trauma either, which all these news
Also true.
sources are with.
Oh my God, again with the
Recording.
trauma. Rachel, rein it in. There's no trauma. Okay, they did this on purpose.
He has trauma. He totally has trauma. You know.
He
from
has
Princess
past
Diana.
trauma, yes, but this didn't stir up anything. Trust me.
My son
looks
has
totally fine.
trauma. He
Yeah,
has
Great.
guess
so
what?
much
Your
trauma.
son has so much trauma that you didn't even make a statement or call him after it happened.
I
Sir
don't
Charles.
use phones. People pick
Yeah, oh,
King
call
Chuck
me.
is so fucking.
Do you
salty
have a
that he
courier
just left
pigeon that you can
immediately
send
after
his
the
way?
Fucking thing, coronation.
It looks like he's like a baton twirler in high
Oh,
school.
I
Like
have
what's
several-
that called?
courier corgis that do me
Un-
He looks
business for
miserable
me.
to being crowned the king. He looks so fucking just nothing. Like
He
Camilla
doesn't
looks like
takes
he's
his
in
ass
Belgium.
off the whole time.
I have to put me ears out to hold me crown up.
You want to
It's
talk about a
going
villain in the
away.
royal family? Camilla.
Yeah,
She-
it's
she's
not good.
also-
He's
She's also a
miserable.
hard no for me.
But you know who else is miserable now? Who else is miserable? Let me try again. You know who else is miserable right now? Is Disney. And that leads me to our featured story,
Featured story of the night.
I want to talk about Disney for a second, and there's two different things here. First of all, Disney Plus, everybody. People are going nuts about Disney Plus because they are actually going to drop a bunch of content. I'm talking about dozens and dozens of shows and movies from either Disney Plus, Disney's gonna do this, or Hulu, because they own both, because of course it's monopoly. We know what that is. The mouse owns everything. Huh? You know, so anyways, so on March or May 26th, they're gonna drop a bunch of things. Big ones like Willow, Big Shot, Turner and Hooch, the Mighty Ducks. They had a spin-off show that's going just beyond. Diary of a Future President, The Mysterious Benedict Society, even The World According to Jeff Goldblum. I'm sorry, Jeff. You're fucking awesome. Friend of the show. I'm sorry about that shit. That
Jeff.
sucks. And also, like on Hulu, Why Last Man? You have Dulles. You have The Hot Zone. You have Maggie, The Pistol and the Demon. There's a bunch of shows that are going. Howard one. Everybody's been like going up and crazy on online about Howard, which is about the Little Mermaid, the person who actually like composing a bunch of the lyricists for a bunch of Disney stuff. That is going to stay, actually. They said it's going to stay. But there's still like
For now.
for now. But there's still like it's insane. There's like 50 some things that are leaving Disney Plus. It's like they're also gonna do what they're doing the same thing that HBO Max did. I talked about before about the impairment charge, 1.5 billion to 1.8 billion, saying these were failures. We're gonna take them off our content. We're never gonna show them again. And we're gonna collect a tax incentive off of it because we lost money on these. So all these movies, all these shows, they're saying we lost money. They're gone. Goodbye. We don't publicize them. We don't put them out there anymore. Or give us some money. Disney's doing that, which is fucking nuts to me, especially because
I'm not here for that game that they're playing. All these fucking streaming services are dropping things for like a few weeks and then pulling them and saying, "Oh, well, we have to get a tax break now." Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself, right? It makes no sense. It makes no sense, Rachel. It's like, especially once it's done and it's been out there for like
It's a grift.
And then some of these shows been out there for a while. You know, Jeff Goldblum's show did 2 seasons, and you're taking it off the air. Like, go fuck yourself. If you make it, it's done. It's in the can. It's out there. It's not like you're licensing it. It's created by you. It's on your network. Why should it ever leave? It should never leave.
I thought that was the point. Because when Disney Plus first came out, they were kind of like, nothing's ever going to be pulled from this.
We're never going back to the vault, they said.
Archive.
There's no more vault.
New vault.
Yeah.
New vault.
So now they're just pulling shit. So they're going, and I guess it's like TV shows. It's not films. They're not like canning Snow White.
There's films. There's films there too.
There are films.
There's a bunch of films. Because like a lot of the films that are going are
from
like
Hulu. I'm talking about specifically Disney Plus.
No, they're from Disney Plus. There's
there is films from
there are films.
Like
and
a bunch
documentaries and making of and
they're
all
not
those
the
things.
Disney classics type stuff. It's not.
Oh no, not like Cinda fucking Rella, but other
ones that they just came out with though. But they were like big investments for them. They were like pimping them hard. They were pushing. Them. They were like, oh, we just came out.
They
with
advertised Disney Plus as like a forever platform for things.
Yeah.
Once it was on there, it's on there.
Yeah.
And now they're shit canning a bunch of stuff to get the tax breaks, which is stupid and grimy and grifty.
And not shocking.
Not shocking at all. But I'm really not enjoying this trend of HBO doing this, Disney Plus doing this. It's going to keep happening. So it's going to come to a point that if you want to watch something, you have to watch it immediately once it comes out, or you're not sure if it's going to fucking be there.
Yeah.
It's like Why the Last Man. I was going to watch that and I've been sitting on it. Because I'm like, it's not a priority to me, but it was like something that I was going to get to eventually. But I wanted to wait until see how many seasons it got. Like I wanted to see if it got 2 seasons and then like pick it up. But now it's been completely removed. And I'm like, well, I was going to at least watch the first season of that because the concept of why is really interesting.
And 99% of the stuff is not going to get a physical release or doesn't have a physical release.
Well,
No,
that's really
So it's just gone from existence at this point now.
It's like
never see it again.
And there's so many comic things like that, like these like independent comics like that. They get these shows that get like a first season that just like get put in a vault that nobody ever gets to see. It's like the Global Frequency like that got made that first season that nobody ever saw, and like shit like this now. It's like, can we like get these comic shows, these graphic novel shows that people keep like making and like not giving to us, and then like stick in a vault somewhere? Like it's kind of fucked up. Like to do this to these creators and like give them a chance to have their work put out there, and then like completely strip them away from them.
Creators,
actors,
actors,
royalties too.
Yeah.
That's a big. They're already fucking people on the stream. We know that already because there's a writer's strike. They're already fucking people on that. And now you take it away and you're taking a tax incentive. It's like, and you'll never see that again. Like you're saying, Lexi, there's no DVD releases. There's no
Right.
Blu-ray. There's none of that. You'll never find this shit again on a Disney logo because they're taking this incentive. They're writing it off pretty much.
Look at the timing. Look at the timing. It's like an extra fuck you to the writers. Because like the little bit of money you could have been making from us, we're going to take that away too. Like that's fucked up.
It's a
like unless you're a Stranger Things or something, you're not getting a DVD release. Like it's not happening.
Right.
Like you're not getting on a media platform of any sort in this day and age. And I mean, we've been going. I go to Target. I still buy physical media. Obviously, it's sitting on a shelf behind me. And, I mean, I buy physical media every time I go out somewhere, and it's like every time I go to Target now, that section is like just like smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And I'm like,
yeah, are you not worried that it is gonna go away and it's gonna be like VCR tapes? Like, what are you gonna do with that?
Well, on the other side of it,
watch them.
people are charging exorbitant prices for them now too. So like now I'm going out to like these little stores and stuff like that. People are charging like $50 and like $100 for.
That's what happens
for a DVD.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
I used to pay $1 for these things. Like most of my collection back there, it's like most of it came from bins for like $1. Yep. And it's like now I can't get most of this stuff, and I ignored stuff. I'd be like, "Oh, I can grab that anytime. I can grab that anytime." And now all of a sudden it's $100 on like eBay, and you're like,
"Fuck
"Well,
you,"
I'm glad I didn't pick that up." And it's like the game isn't fun anymore to buy because it's like the collector's market has turned into like idiocy. Like everybody's just charging way too much for this shit, and like you can't go out and just buy stuff anymore in the store anymore because it's like they just don't have it. So buying physical media is becoming hard, but then they're doing shit like this where they're pulling everything off of these platforms. So where are you getting things? Like when you go out and you find something and you like it and you care about it, and then someone goes, pulls it right off the platform like instantly. Like what do you do in that case? It's like in this day and age, how do you protect media? Like that's my question, because part of
you sear it into your mind.
I think Rachel has a comment on this.
I have a question. So The Valley, your show.
Yes.
Does that have a physical release?
We do have a physical. No, we were supposed to, but we don't anymore. We were supposed to, but it fell through.
If platforms decided to pull The Valley, your show no longer exists effectively.
It's true.
No, that's totally different because it's not owned by a platform. It's something that is distributed through a platform.
On the discussion of things being pulled,
but we own that property. They cannot hide that away, and we can never get it again. We can always seek to distribute it through someone else.
But if they pull it from all of those platforms,
oh my God, guys!
And I liked your show, and I'm not your friends, and I'm dude out in Iowa, but like I'm dude in Iowa just happens to have been a big fan of The Valley, and they pull it from streaming.
Fuck yeah, Iowa.
And now I have no access to The Valley.
Okay.
That's it. It's gone. Now what do I do in that situation?
Right.
I can't buy it.
You tell Hulu and Netflix to pick it up for season 2. That's what you do.
Hold on. I have an answer. The thing is that they can't pull that type of content. They're pulling things that they own. They're pulling things that they created. They're pulling things that they can claim as a loss on their taxes. So The Valley is not going to be in one of those things.
Right. It wasn't an exact one-to-one, but it was just an example of here's a show point is, that you can't get physically.
Yeah.
Right, but okay, I get that. However, the point is that like if they are pulling their own content so that they can literally claim a tax loss, that's basically what it is. They can claim a tax loss and be like, now on my taxes I have a $1.6 billion loss because of all these properties that failed. Then whatever. Thank you. I mean,
it's 1.6 to 1.8. It's fucking nuts.
Okay, so I said 1.6. You felt the need to correct me?
Well,
like,
no,
really?
I wasn't correcting you. I was adding into the 1.8. It's okay.
1.6 to 1.8. Great. You know what? You're ruining my train of thought.
It's called tag team. Back again.
Okay, I'm gonna tag team you onto the mattress later, and not in a good way.
Whoa.
So yes, there's like they're just pulling their shit because it helps them get a tax break. And they don't give a shit about the people who made the show, the people who are getting residuals from the show, the people who use that show as their show reel. You know what I mean, for things that they've done. So they are doing this purely out of a greedy situation where they want to have control over their finances, and it makes the company look better as well. You know what I mean? Like they're like, oh, we didn't have that much of a loss because we reported this 1.6 to 1.8. Thank you, Brian. Deficit that they wouldn't have been able to claim earlier. So like it makes their books look better. It makes their financials better, and literally makes their financials better because they don't have to pay as much because they're reporting that as a deduction. So like they're doing it out of a very selfish reason.
Be changed because the government doesn't feel like fucking changing tax laws because they're probably using the same shit to write off their own losses and take it back into their pockets.
I mean, I feel like the tax situation got a lot worse 3 years ago. Like a lot worse for people in the entertainment industry. Like it's just been a real struggle. Like
it's
where you used to get a refund, now you got to pay. Like it's like a whole nightmare.
The federal government took away all the tax incentives for any kind of entertainment industry.
I don't think that
Disney stuff like this because they can still make Batgirl and shit can it and take a fucking tax write-off.
Yeah,
for it.
That's what happened with Batgirl.
These are ginormous corporations. It's a different story. It's not a regular person, you know?
That's what I'm talking about. They need to change the corporate tax laws.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
100%.
Yes.
I would
and this
love
is
that.
100% just like Batgirl, except Batgirl never be seen. This was actually a scene for.
They could have at least let us watch it first and then shit canned it.
And then do it. Because now we know that works. Which is insane to me. But also, like, so Disney's in a bad place. They did this. But on top of that, you know, everybody knows. I mean, maybe they don't, but most people know they created a whole Star Wars hotel on top of that. Right?
Oh, God.
Galactic this is a lot. Cruiser.
It's like not even been a year. And apparently, the Star Wars hotel has failed everybody, which is very unfortunate because, like, it's one of those things that I was like,
it was $5,000 for 2 nights. They fucked themselves.
That's what I'm saying. Rachel, you're right.
I need everyone to drink right now. I need everyone to drink right this minute.
Hold on 1 second. After just 1 year of opening, a 2-night voyage would cost, if you got the premier room, $20,000 for 2 nights. For the biggest premier VIP room, $20,000. 2 nights. And the average they were saying was $1,200.
That's more expensive than fucking sandals. And I keep desperately wanting to go to sandals, and I can't afford a sandal. That shit's too expensive. And that's like for one of the cabana rooms that's like way out on the ocean with a little hammock over the thing. Like that shit's so fucking pimp, and I want to do that shit, but that shit's like $7-8 to do, and that's the most expensive sandals vacation.
It's a twofold problem with Disney and not Galaxy's Edge, that's in the theme parks, but the Galactic Star Cruiser.
Yeah.
The first problem is the price. The entry price is too fucking high. Because if you had lowered that price, people, if you had even made it like $3,000 for 2 nights, people would have done it. But they didn't want to do that, so they just shit canned the whole hotel. The second problem is that there's the storyline that goes with it, and for the media nights, they didn't tell the media to not leak the story. To not talk about what the storyline was. So what's the point of paying $5,000 for 2 nights when you already know the storyline?
Like I'm super here for like a themed Star Wars hotel. Like I'm 100% here for that. But I'm not here to pay like $5,000 for it. And I'm definitely not here to be forced to engage in some kind of story. Like I'm not a cosplayer. I'm not a fun.
You don't want to LARP Star Wars?
No, I'm not here for LARPing. Like that sounds so lame. Like I just
looks so cool.
It seems really cool. I would have really liked to do it in a few years when they
drop the price. Can't they give me like a version of it where I can just go to the hotel and hang out and like do things that isn't like
no, it's the exclusivity.
And unfortunately, September 28th to 30th is the last time you can go there. And this picture right next to her now, Lexi, looks pretty fucking cool. You got like an alien singing on stage. You know what I mean?
Right. Like I love that
some freaking cosmopolitans
in Vegas.
I mean, a lot of the concept art never really fully came to fruition because Bob Chapek pinched pennies and like fucked up the whole thing.
Yeah.
So it was never really as cool as it was supposed to have been, and then also it was too expensive. So they really just fucked themselves over on all fronts. It's embarrassing.
It's really sad too because it would be such a good concept, and it's a $1 billion project they had for the whole Star Wars thing. And this is incorporated into it, and I remember I saw the early picture. I'm like, this looks fucking cool. I'm like, I want to go stay at this place, and then it's like, you see the numbers, and you're like, how can anybody afford this? How can any family afford this? Like just for like a family of like 3, it was like $6,000. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? For 2
Very
nights.
racist.
For 2
Stupid.
nights. That's not
To
reasonable.
be fair, it's not that much more than going to Disney. Period.
No, I mean, but
But you don't
you know
even
what
get to go
happened?
into the parks for that much.
Yeah, you're gonna tie it in though.
The park ticket is included in this
You get to go.
$5,000
You get to
resort
go in
stay.
for 1 day into Galaxy's Edge. So you get Hollywood Studios for 1 day, and that's what's included.
Like a
I mean,
cabin
I'm
with
just
2
saying,
guests. A cabin
if
with 2
you're-
guests, $4,809. With 3
It's
guests,
obviously not for normal people.
$5,209. You know?
No, and that's why it failed.
It's not
Yeah.
for you. It's not for me. It's for like super rich people, and super
$3,
rich people
$3
don't give a
grand,
shit
$6
about
grand.
Star Wars. People don't give a shit about Star Wars that are super rich. They care about their Bugattis and like their accountant and their
It's like-
super rich fucking house that they live
It's
in.
like-
They don't
it's
give
like-
a shit about Star Wars.
Do you remember in Vegas the Star Wars or Star Trek experience they built?
No.
I didn't see that.
No, I'm not ancient.
They didn't. They built it in your lifetime, asshole.
It was built, but I was too
Rude.
young to give a shit.
Rude.
They built that in one of the casinos.
It
They had,
closed
like,
in 2002.
Yeah, well, it
I was
in your lifetime.
11 when it
It was
closed.
in your lifetime. Uh,
Lifetime.
but they did have that whole like Star Trek experience in Vegas where it was like they had the casino that was just like the whatever, and it was very similar to this kind of thing. And
Yeah, but you don't have to pay $5,000 to get in.
But that was just it. You don't have
No.
to pay
So
$5,000
much
to it.
money.
Yeah.
You go gamble in it. You could hang out in it, and it had different tiers. Like it had the experience that you could have, but it then also had like you could just hang out in it, whatever. And I feel like if they had done that with this and had the different levels, like we could go in and interact with it as a person, but then also
Oh,
have,
right. Like anyone. Yeah.
yeah, like that's what would have allowed it to succeed. But just having it locked off like this and being like, oh, it's only this kind of experience.
Well, the
Nobody
concept
else
was
can get into it.
immersion.
Like it's
So you
out
didn't
of-
want someone walking around in a goofy hat.
Then you have an
and a
area that's immersion, and
t-shirt.
you have an area that everybody else can engage in. Like you have a 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Like you created a way to like bring that in. It's like it's stupid to just like split it entirely up like that and then charge that much money because it's just like.
I
it's
mean, that just seems a poorly thought out plan. That's way too expensive. And if they would have made it more affordable, it would have paid itself off maybe in a little bit longer time. But instead of being like constantly unbooked, they have actors in the lounge like playing parts like at the jazz club and you know what I mean? Like it's a very, very expensive, thing to run. And like when you're
Right.
putting prices like that and it's not filling seats, like you need to make a change. Like it's not
They
gonna happen.
overpromised, underdelivered, and charged too much for it.
It looks
Yeah,
so
and they're-
good. I wanted to go so bad. Never see it. Quack, quack, quack away. It's gone.
Sorry, that was me.
Some people were super
Real
mad
good.
about it too. Like they
I
said
love the
that
quacking.
I love the quacking.
I remember like, there was
Some-
one episode where Lex is like, sorry about my quacking, and I busted my ass out laughing. It's pretty good. Laugh, quack, 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 laugh, 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 quack. It's good.
It's,
And in a
Fuck
way,
Disney. I love them so much.
Disney's Florida parks are going to have a lot of financial issues coming up because of the legislation that
Look
Ron
what happened
DeSantis
in
is putting
Florida.
in. A large percentage of the Disney fans who are willing to pay a lot of money are gay, and they do not feel welcome in Florida anymore.
Let me
So
ask you
they're going
something,
to start
Rachel.
losing
No.
a ton of money.
Let me
Why
ask
do
you,
they
Rachel.
not feel welcome in Florida? They told Ron DeSantis to go fuck himself so that
But
they
he's still
could.
passing all these laws.
He
They're
is,
not
but
passing laws.
Disney
It's
Disney
isn't.
is literally
I'm talking
taking
about-
a
I'm talking
huge
about the
stand.
fans. I'm not talking about Disney. I'm talking about the people who pay to go to Disney.
Right, but like
All the-
I'm
the
saying,
gay
Disney
people.
itself is taking a stand against Ron DeSantis and literally took away
Right.
$1 billion housing project
Right.
in
which is
order to
great.
be
But
true
if
to
you
that.
if you have a trans kid, you can't take your kid to Disney because the state of Florida passed legislation that even if you don't live in the state of Florida, they can take your fucking kid because they're trans and you're giving them trans health care.
That's fucked
So if I was a
yeah.
parent, I wouldn't go to fucking Florida.
Yeah, but if you're
At all.
visiting Florida for a week, like I don't see
Yeah.
how that's really relevant.
It shouldn't be, but the way the law is written, it is. And if you have any sort of custody disagreement going on, you're extra fucked. So it's too sticky of a situation for a lot of people to feel comfortable going.
I
I
hear
feel like
sticky
Disney-
situation. I think about Wednesday. Sorry.
About what?
Wednesday.
Oh, the pineapple. Yeah, I got it. Rude.
Rachel, okay, so that's fucked up. I also want to ask you another thing because what do you think about people have been going nuts online about Disney Plus thing about how like Willow's gone. Like Willow had like a lot of gay characters involved with it, and it was like they're one of their biggest like gay character show. Do you think it's a bad thing they're taking down content like that actually represents a different kind of community that they don't
I don't
have?
think they thought
They don't
about
have.
it. I think they just looked at their bottom 10% of shows and just cut. They drew
Yep.
a line and just cut anything below it. I don't
Yeah,
think that
they-
much thought was put into it.
People
to be
going
quite
nuts about it
honest.
online though too. You too, Lexi. You think that's a thing?
See, I struggle with a lot of this kind of thing, like where I was going back before, where I was talking about preserving media. I believe in preserving all media. Like, it's always tragic to me when I hear about like fires that take things out, or I like when I hear about the BBC's like loss of like entire episodes of Doctor Who or anything like that. Like, I know that we live in a current climate where there's a bottom line and media is entirely created for the purpose of money. And it's disgusting to me because like film and art and this kind of thing, like, it's really not just money. Like, it's not what its purpose exists for. And I struggle with functioning in the modern world. And I know like I'm kind of getting off kind of topic with this a little bit, but when I see things like you went out and you spent all this money and you produced all of this content, and even though the content wasn't the best content, like even if it wasn't the greatest content in the world, or even if it was that whatever, like content is content and media is media, and somebody loved it and somebody cared about it and somebody put a lot of effort into it, and the creation process of making a film, making a television show, making it is a creative process. It's an art process, and it's not a manufacturing process. And you can try to make it a manufacturing process all you want, but there's still love and art and care that goes into every one of these, no matter what, because that's what this is. That's what this thing is. It is an art. It's a love. It's a care process. And when you give it to people, its job is to evoke emotions. Do you understand what I'm saying with that? So its whole purpose in existence is to make you feel happy, sad, joy. You're going to bring this with you potentially for the rest of your life. There are movies that you're going to love and hate and cherish for all of eternity, and you're going to want to see those forever if you love them and you care about them. Some kid at some point during this cataloging of all of this shit latched on to one of these movies, because these movies were dumped out in a time period when these kids were being handed shit during the streaming service, and some kid out there, this is one of their favorite fucking movies. Just happened during this time period.
100%.
One of these shows was one of these kids' favorite shows. Somebody loves this shit. And now it's being taken away from them. And it's not just being taken away from them in a way where it's like, well, maybe someday there's an archive out there where they'll find it, or there's a place where they'll be able to find it because it was
Never see it
made
again.
because it was filmed on film, because these are not even filmed on physical stuff anymore. Like, they're shot directly onto a hard drive, put right onto a computer, edited on a computer. Somebody goes, you know what, I don't want this, gone from eternity.
See ya.
Like, it's so easy to just kill what we create in this world, and it's so easy to look at it as money. And we shouldn't ever be looking at art and creation as money. And to look at the current, I mean, even if you look at the evolution of film to see how we got to where we are now, even the 90s, even at like the peak of like where film was really like an industry, like machine pumping out shit, we were never where we are now. It was never like, I don't remember film companies just making shit for the purpose of tax write-offs, like for billions of dollars in tax write-offs. Like, this shit's ridiculous. Like, this is just fucking stupid. What we're doing right now is stupid. We're creating art for the purpose of dumping it in a trash can so that you can get tax write-offs, so that your construct can get thicker. Fuck you.
I don't think they're doing it with the purpose of doing that, but I do think they're abandoning projects because they're not profitable. They're taking something that didn't maybe meet their expectations for profitability and then shit-canning it. I don't think they go into it intending to.
Don't get me wrong.
Tax write-offs, I think they're not
That's
getting
fucked up, though.
quite.
I
what
also
they made
think
back. But it's
I
all
also
fucked
think
up.
you're wasting money on garbage projects. I think if you invested in better quality projects, that we could have better art and have better things that people would want for longer periods of time, that you wouldn't have to do things like this. But also, I think that things like this are just symptomatic of capitalism in the world that we exist in. And that capitalism is just going to keep things like this existing because art in a capitalistic world is always going to be created for the purpose of money, not for the purpose of art. And it is always going to be created for the purpose of shit like this. But that's not what art is for. And so it always sickens me when I see stuff like this because in my eyes, it should be all preserved, no matter what, no matter how low on the level it is. Even if it's a shit tier or whatever, like the worst film deserves to sit in a vault with the best film.
It
They
should be
all deserve.
for everybody to see. If you make it and you put the money into it and you put it out there and people have a chance to see it, they should always have a chance to see it. And that's what Disney was trying to do. And that's what they said they were doing to us. They were giving us something and not taking away ever again. The vault was gone and they lied to us. That's what it is at the end of the day. And unfortunately, it's a big fuck you to the fans. And that's Disney Plus.
And I want to
Anyways!
clarify, there was a comment. Chris, I didn't say Disney World was queer or gay unfriendly. I said the state of Florida, the government is unfriendly.
Oh,
Ron
yeah.
DeSantis is unfriendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
100%.
just re-commented on that, and he is. But like the fact that Disney has taken a stand
And
against that, I think is actually
Which is
admirable
great.
because
and I
it's
support Disney, and I'm going to the gay Disney event in California. But it's really hard to watch firsthand queer people and trans people fleeing from the state of Florida because they're afraid for their lives.
It's fucked up.
That's hard to watch and to aggregate with wanting to spend money there. I
But
can't
like
in good
for
conscience-
Disney to take a
Right.
stand and not
Yeah.
deal with his bullshit, A, and then
Right.
B, like pull out $1 billion development
Yeah.
that they were going to build. I literally said he, like as if Walt Disney was still alive. I'm like, good old
The
Walt.
Walt.
He's
The
gonna
Walt.
do this.
Tiger.
Ridiculous.
Don't fuck with the Walt.
But like the fact that they are doing that, I think is like a huge, amazing step in
Which
the
is
right
great. If I
direction.
could
And I don't
just-
think a
if
lot
I
of
could
companies
fly-
would do that.
If I could fly on to Walt Disney World property and not
Right, like
give
land
a dime
on
of tax dollars to Florida, I would absolutely
land-
still go.
Parachute
Right. If
into
I get to
Epcot.
see
Like
Ross
just
Disney-
parachute me in there.
I mean,
Yeah.
leave them
Yeah, I
alone.
get it.
Leave them the fuck alone, Ron DeSantis. That's all I can say. Leave them alone. They've been doing their thing for how long? Leave them the fuck alone. Why do you, as a politician, why do you mess with that shit? You came into this shit. How many Democrats, Republicans, fucking independents have left them alone? Leave
That
them the
guy
fuck
is
alone.
unhinged. I can't with it. I
Leave him
can't
alone.
with that. I really
And
can't.
it's
sorry,
gonna
I
fuck
get
with
it.
tax dollars with Disney and Universal
Leave 'em
and
alone.
fuck Miami. Like, gay people
Hashtag
love
leave 'em
Florida.
alone.
Why are you fucking with your bread and butter?
Gay people love Florida.
So
Yeah,
if
leave
you
'em alone.
make
Don't
if you
take
make
Florida from us.
unfriendly from gay people, you're gonna lose
Let them do their
billions
thing.
in tax dollars.
Magical
I know,
place in the
it's
fucking
so,
world. Leave it
it's
alone.
so dumb.
Besides,
Like honestly, the whole thing is dumb.
Disney doesn't hate trans people. Universal Studios hates trans people.
Oh, is that a
What
thing?
is, oh,
Oh, Harry Potter.
Oh, 'cause of Harry
Potter.
God damn it, Lexi! We can't get through one podcast without Harry Potter.
Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for being here tonight. We appreciate you as always. It's been a great Friday night. And before I do my little send off here, we have to do one more drink because it's Friday.
Drink.
We gotta do a drink. To everybody, happy Friday. It's Friday the 19th of May. We're halfway through the month. So, you know,
Oh, do you have
Cuddle
to
up
hold
next
this
to
for
your
whole
couple.
speech?
Did I fail? Did I fail?
So-
I
Yeah,
did
you
too.
got-
I did too, Lexi. Me and you did the same thing.
You gotta do another one. I'm gonna toast. You gotta do another one. Okay.
Shit.
I haven't said my
He's
piece yet.
still
though.
talking.
I'm still talking. So, it's Friday, the 19th of May. We're halfway through. We're almost to summer. Enjoy the time you have with your loved ones. And thank you so much for being on Kruse Control. We love you so much. Regardless, we fight, we argue, we have a good time. We sometimes agree. We always are here for you. Thank you for joining us. 313
Sometimes.
subscribers. We love you so much. Happy Friday, everybody. That's what we drink. We drink for you and for us and for the world. Here we go. Happy Friday.
For the world, to the world.
To the world. Except Ron DeSantis.
Fuck Randy. Anyways,
Okay.
anybody. Thank you for being on Kruse Control. Rachel, thank you for being here as always. Appreciate you. Hope you had a great
Sorry
week.
to make your guests mad again. I'm just making the chat and
It's
Sabrina
good.
and everyone
It's
mad.
good.
You're not making anyone
No,
mad.
there's
Oh
no
my God, you're
madness.
being way sensitive right now.
Yeah, don't be.
You're being
I'd
super
rather.
sensitive.
I'm
That
mad.
only
I'm
only
mad.
helps. It helps,
Not at all.
Rachel.
Not at all,
Because
Lexi.
everyone doesn't think the same. At the end of the day, we talk about
We
it.
love that. We
and
love
we-
a difference
we
of
love it.
opinion.
We chat about
That's
it and
what
we
I'm
let
here
it
for.
go at the end of the day, and that's what it should be in the real
Look
world.
at
We
Chris
should let
is
it
like,
go.
no, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. This is amazing. He's like, good show. Heart,
We should
good show.
always
Love
let it
Love
go because end of the day, we can always never agree on shit. That's the world. We are so different, everybody. We let it go. We talk about it. We have a great
If
conversation
everyone had the
about it.
same opinion, we would be living in a
This would be a
robot
boring
controlled,
fucking
like
show.
utopia fucking bullshit
not
world.
there.
Like, no,
We're
I
not
just
there.
mean like generally speaking, like we need to represent every opinion of everything.
We do.
Absolutely. Like
and
the
that's what-
world does.
And that's what Cruise Control is all about. It's about talking.
Cruise
I'm a little
control.
drunk. Brian's a little drunk. Cruise
Cruise
Control is all about. Cruise Control is all
What?
about,
No, you're not.
about us being one
Cruise
people.
Control.
Talking about shit that we fight once in a while. We talk about bullshit, fun shit, good shit, bad shit. Fucking shit just came out of our ass right
All
now.
the shit.
But that's the life, you know? And we argue, we fight, we love, we hate. It's whatever it is. End of the day, it's a good day.
We don't
It's
hate.
always a good day.
There's no
Cruise
hate.
Control.
Lexi!
I kind of like that actually. I might rebrand.
What did I say? What did I say?
Control.
I didn't say
Control.
cunt control. Lexi,
What?
thank
No,
you
said
so
control,
much
not cunt control.
for being here as always. Appreciate your
Absolutely.
time. Hope you had a good time
Rebranding.
tonight on this happy
Always
Friday.
here. Absolutely.
Sabrina, thank you for being my co-host as always. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And everybody out there, please like and subscribe. Join our Patreon if you can. And as always, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your cousins, tell
Wait,
your uncles, tell
Did
your
you
aunts.
thank Rachel? Did you thank Rachel?
Yeah,
I
I was
did already.
first. I derailed
Oh,
everything.
you were first? Fuck you, Rachel, and fuck you, Brian. How about that?
It went in
I'm just
order of
kidding.
least important to most important.
I'm kidding. Give your chinchilla speech, buddy. I'm sorry. I thought you left her out. I was trying to be a good person.
Sabrina, thank you
Don't
as
forget the
always for being the
kangaroos.
lovely co-host that I have day in
Ty
and
said
day
good
out
show.
every day.
Leave it alone.
for being
Tone
here,
it down,
kicking
buddy.
ass,
That's
telling
not what I said.
stories,
What I said
bringing
was you
back-
didn't honor Rachel. Rude, buddy. Rude. I
Bringing
wasn't
those
asking for
back.
extra.
Good
I was
looking out,
asking for
Sabrina.
her to be fucking noted. Thank you, Ty. Great show. Brian, give your chinchilla speech, please.
One more drink, everybody.
All right. Hold on.
I don't.
Happy
I don't
Friday.
even have any drink left.
Oh,
Like it's empty.
fail.
What the
I
shit,
say
Lexi?
fail.
Who only would drinks one drink to the party? I said
Look,
who only drinks one drink. That's
look.
not even English.
I didn't know. It's my fault. I got water. I'll drink water.
You did know. You have done this before, girl.
That's true.
She
I'm
talks a big
failure.
game. She's like, I'm gonna get so drunk on Brian.
Ugh.
No.
Whoa. Okay.
Chris gets a Chris. Yes, you get a shout out. Shout out
Anyway.
to Chris Panico. Shout out to GR. Shout out to Ty Boogie.
Bye,
Shout
GR.
out to all your fans.
Thank you all for
We
being
love you
here on this
guys. Thank
special
you.
Friday. We're at 313 subscribers. It might be more, unless last time I saw. I mean, everybody, you're telling
Oh, I
your
can't
friends.
wait
It's
to see.
great. It's awesome.
Tell the
But
kangaroos.
anyways, you gotta keep telling people. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your cousins, tell your uncles, tell your aunts, tell your brothers, your sisters, your little nieces, your little nephews, your big nephews, your fucking huge cousins. Tell them all. Tell that fucking chinchilla that's
Who
fighting
knows
that
that
fucking
means?
raccoon, because I fucking hate that raccoon. He's my best friend, but I fucking hate him. Tell the fucking kangaroo, because that
going
fucking kangaroo's a douchebag sometimes.
Passion right
That's all I
there.
can say. Tell that fucking chinchilla, because that chinchilla's a douchebag. I love him so much. He's so
Wow.
cuddly. And he fucking
Wow.
subscribes to all of his friends. And he's awesome. And that raccoon is in my garbage
Wow.
can. He's my best friend. Call him Lewis. He's great. Tell everybody. Tell everybody. Subscribe to Kruse Control anyways. And
By the
as
way,
always,
before you
every-
sign off, we have 315 subscribers. I just did a fact check.
315. Thank you for
There you
giving
go.
us information. And also, tell the cats. Cats are cool. I love cats.
That was a weird segue, bro.
That's all I'm saying.
It's sign off time.
Bye.
Anyways,